Seeker. It is late November 5th, 2024, selection night. I'm out on the West Coast. For you East Coast guys, you're going, what? It's already November 6th, but I'm out here on the West Coast. It's just a couple minutes after 10 p.m., and we're on the verge of landing the prediction that we put out right about the inauguration time, 2021. We said why Donald Trump would likely return as the split-term president in 2024. And as I go live, look at what Fox News has their electoral map at. I mean, could it be a bigger joke, you guys? Could it be a bigger joke? Trump leading 248 to 216. Aren't these the same two numbers we've been talking about since 2016? Again, if you don't see it, right now the country's 248 years old. So is the Illuminati. And when the election was called for Trump in 2016, it was called while he was at 248 electoral votes. This is part of the reason he had that mugshot on the 24th of August, 24/8. Again, you learn gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. President Donald Trump equates to 248. And as for the 216, that's the Cleveland area code where he had his convention in 2016. And we were talking about it back then. Could he end up being a split-term president like Grover Cleveland? Fox News, about 30 minutes ago, just had up a little caption on the screen with their pundit talking, saying this is the greatest political resurrection since 1892. That's when Grover Cleveland won re-election. And keep in mind, that's 132 years ago. Just like how there's 132 rooms in the White House, like how in Gematria, United States of America equals 132. And this country was named that on September 9th, 1776, 132 days from the Illuminati being established. Keep in mind, Catholic Church also equals 132, and that's who runs this nation, thus all the Roman architecture. That's why Donald Trump was over there with the Pope at the beginning of 2017 after becoming president, giving the Pope a lotus flower when Kamala means lotus, who he now defeats to become Grover Cleveland. But again, about that political resurrection, that was something we were talking about, why Trump would likely come back. And I was making the exact point that it would be a resurrection of his political career. I was making the exact point back in 2021 when he was still 74 years old. Again, who runs this scripted show? The Catholic Church and their army, which is the Jesuits, who gave us the language and the calendar. What does Jesus equal in gematria? In light of Jesuit being short for Society of Jesus, what does Jesus equal in gematria? It equals 74. Just like cross equals 74. Like Messiah equals 74, like gospel equals 74, like parables equals 74. The list goes on. Masonic equals 74. DC is known as the Masonic City. It's because of George Washington. The small way, Jesus Christ equals 74, so does George Washington. They both equal 74. And don't forget, George Washington died with the Jesuit priest at his side who resurrected Jesuitism in the United States of America. Pretty sure he poisoned him. He died on a very fateful date, did George Washington, December 14th. It's a whole nother story. But again, if you're not aware, George Washington, there's a tribute to him in D.C. that makes him look like Jesus. At the Capitol building, up at the top of the building on the inside, there's a painting of George Washington up in the clouds looking down like he's Jesus. And then in that same building, in the basement, there's an open tomb for George Washington, just like how there's an open tomb in the world that you can visit for Jesus. Again, there's a reason all these people swear in on the Bible. All these frauds swear in on the Bible. And Donald Trump even is selling a $60 Bible for the 60th U.S. presidential election, where again, his ex-wife fell down the stairs and died exactly 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year on July 14, 2022. So if you haven't been here following everything we've been documenting, I've been explaining, countless times over all the rituals for Trump leading up to this selection and why it was going to be him. Of course, in the last few months, they've made things a lot more complicated with the rituals they've done for Kamala. And that's why I've said this is reminding me of 2016, where I said at the beginning of the year it was going to be Trump when no one thought he was even going to become the nominee. And then they started doing all these rituals for Hillary, who ended up not winning. But I do think we're going to see Biden not finish his term. Kamala will be in there for a month or so as the president, and then Trump will become number 48. And again, we'll recap why that is. So for all of you guys who really wanted to see Kamala as the president, I still think there's a very likely chance you're going to see exactly that. Just she won't win it. Remember, Gerald Ford told us about all of this October 18th, 1989. He said the first female president will not be elected. It'll happen when an old man is in office as president and he dies and he has a younger woman as the VP. And again, he said that in the Herbert Hoover Library on October 18th, 1989, right before Kamala's birthday. Kamala was still 24 at the time, like here we are in 2024. And again, Kamala was born on the exact same day that Herbert Hoover died. That's how sick all this stuff is. That's how rigged it all is. I mean, it's just really disgusting and gross when you think about it, that these people were picked that long ago from birth, including the Donald. And anyhow, I just want to recap what we covered this morning. If you missed this morning's live stream earlier in the day, I did the video. If you missed it, here, let me put it up real quick in case you missed it, and then we'll just quickly recap what was in that. We've always talked about rig sports, rig selections, and last night, what they did in the world of sports seemed to foreshadow that, yes, this was Trump's. And hold on, how do I get to my own channel? There we go. This morning's live stream, very similar thumbnail to this one. Is Trump winning the election in OT? Did the Cleveland Cavaliers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers November 4th rituals signal Trump wins? And over a 3-hour stream, if you don't know how streaming works, it says stream 7 hours ago. That the timer starts from when the stream ends. So the stream started over 10 hours ago. But anyhow, that was this morning. If you missed it, quick recap of what they did last night. Again, we've been talking about how Trump had his convention in the Cleveland Cavaliers Stadium in 2016, right after LeBron won the finals on the real King James's birthday. And again, this election this year, 2024, it's the anniversary of the Jesuits trying to blow up King James with the gunpowder plot, also known as the Jesuit treason. Again, that was November 5th, 1605. Again, LeBron won the finals on the real King James's birthday. The real King James died at 58. Trump announced from the 58-story Trump Tower for the 58th election, which again, he won in Gematria Freemasonry equals 58, like secret society, like Rosicrucian. King James was a Freemason and Rosicrucian. The first degree of Freemasonry is the honored apprentice. Trump, the apprentice, wins the 58th election. And again, it was foreshadowed decades in advance with Oprah Winfrey, who equals 58, as well as Suddenly Susan, the TV show, which had an episode from May 8th, 58, where Trump was the president of the United States. That was almost, it was 20 some years before he became president. But anyway, last night, Monday night, November 4th, and remember we were saying this morning that the Cavs won with 116. So are they going to call the election for Trump on 11/6? Looks like they are. But tonight, Kamala's crowd very disappointed at Howard University. But anyway, last night, the Cavs got off to their best start in 48 years, starting 8-0, beating the Bucks, just like how the Chiefs last night got to 8-0, beating the Bucks, with Patrick Mahomes from White House, Texas, and his mom right before the game endorsed Trump. That was the big story before the game got underway. But again, Cleveland's best start in 48 years. 1976 was the last time they were 8-0. Cleveland equals 48 in Gematria, like Donald Trump. Again, if you're new here, how do you get these numbers? You just take the alphabetic order forwards and backwards, and you apply numerology to the alphabet. So as you can see, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, C in reverse, Z would be the first letter, A would be the last, the 26th, which means B's the 25th, which means C is the 24th. The numerology of 24 is 2 plus 4 is 6. So you just run the alphabetic order in reverse numerology. You add up the word Cleveland 48. Donald Trump's when you run the alphabetic order forwards with numerology. Donald Trump is 48. And we've been talking about this since 2016. Donald Trump's convention in Cleveland. Things we've been talking about since 2016. The night, and by the way, for the record, James equals 48, as in LeBron James. Wall equals 48. Remember how Trump ran on building a wall right after LeBron won the finals and Trump had his GOP convention there? LeBron came out with the show The Wall, and then they called the election for Trump on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Again, all these things are connected. Here, again, if you're new here, the 4 base ciphers, just so you can understand. There's 4 base ciphers, the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, and both orders of numerology. Wall is 48. Notice it's also 60. Look how Donald Trump is 48 and 60, right? Donald Trump, Mr. Wall, Mr. Mega. Reagan ran on Mega, Hollywood actor. Trump ran on Mega, Hollywood actor. Reagan said, tear down that wall. Trump gets called president-elect on the anniversary of the same wall that Reagan said to tear down. And again, Berlin Wall's 45, like how he was called number 45 on the anniversary of the fall of the wall, November 9th. Notice how ritual equals 27 and 45. That was the 27th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall when Trump was called president-elect. Notice how ritual's also 81, like President Trump is 81. So is President Biden, who supposedly got a record 81 million votes, even though out here in the liberal Pacific Northwest where I live, I couldn't find a single Donald Trump or Joe Biden bumper sticker, yard sign. Like, oh yeah, I'm sure this guy got the record votes. No enthusiasm for him anywhere. But yeah, just same numbers, night after night. And anyway, coming back to this ritual, Cleveland 48 like Donald Trump, starting 8-0 like Grover Cleveland's 80. Best start since 1976. Donald John Trump, his full name 76, like how this nation was founded and the Illuminati was founded in 1776. And then also last night in the NFL, the 138th game of the season was Monday Night Football, 48 days after Mahomes' birthday. The game went to overtime 24-24, 48 points. And then the Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, 48 days after his birthday, won the game. After his mom endorsed Trump before the game. And again, he's from White House, Texas. White House, TX, like he'd write out on an envelope, 60, like Donald Trump, like this is the 60th election. He's running against 60-year-old Kamala Harris, who began dating Willie Brown when he was 60 and she was in her 20s. And that's how she climbed the political ladder. Again, Trump's ex-wife died exactly 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuit Ignatian year, which ran more than a typical calendar year. It began May 20th, 2021. It ended July 31st, 2022. Again, July 14th, right near the end of it, was the day Trump's ex-wife fell down the stairs and died 45 years into their marriage. And that was exactly 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year. And then you can understand why, again, Trump's selling a $60 Trump Bible when the Holy Bible is 60. Holy alone is 60. The Jesuits are considered a holy order. Notice how holy 60 and 48, as well as 24 the year we're in. Like Trump is, his name has the 60 and 48 connection. But if you don't know the Jesuit history, you should look into it. Their first decade with the Roman Catholic Church, their order was limited to 60 members. And the word order itself is 60. These things are not an accident. Donald Trump's Jesuit educated, went to Fordham. And there's a lot to that we've covered in the past. Again, last night, Mahomes became 97 and 25 for his career after his mom endorsed Trump. The guy from White House, Texas, 97 is the 25th prime. He also got his 25th win in prime time. Trump equals 25, like Tampa Bay, who he defeated. And don't forget, when Trump first became president in 2017, the first Super Bowl was the one where the Patriots came back by 25 points on the Falcons on 2/5, and that was the 97th season. And Trump said he was cheering for the Patriots. Falcons equals 25 in the same way Tampa Bay does, the alphabetic order with numerology. And again, these things aren't an accident. It's scripted sports, scripted politics, like I've been explaining since even before those things happened. I've been talking about how this stuff's all scripted together for over 10 years now. Again, we've been talking about this research for over 11 years. After about a year of doing it, it became very evident how connected all these things were. I mean, you look at it day after day, it's undeniable. And the other thing about 80, in light of both of these teams becoming 8-0, again, Tampa Bay became 8-0 versus the Bucks. The Cleveland Cavaliers became 8-0 versus the Bucks in the NBA. Again, it's more obvious with that Bucks team in the NBA, a horned creature, just like how Satan is a horned creature. The Baphomet, half goat with the horns, the symbol of the Church of Satan. Again, Satan and Baphomet are both 80. Mega is the highest degree of the Church of Satan. Again, when Obama was president, and Obama took the White House in a Satan ritual, Barak means lightning, and Satan comes to earth in a bolt of lightning in Luke 10:18. The same day in history, October 18, 10:18, that Gerald Ford told the prophecy of the first female president, how she won't be voted in. She'll come in when an old man dies. But again, on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, April 30th, 2011, Obama at the White House Correspondents' Dinner with Trump in attendance said Trump would become number 45 on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, 45 days before Trump's birthday. Every year, the Church of Satan's birthday is 45 days from Trump's. Doesn't change. April 30th is the Church of Satan's birthday. June 14th, the flag's birthday is Trump's. And again, the flag's sewn at 239 Arch Street, like how Trump first took office, while the flag was 239 years old. And that's why we were able to call the Super Bowl dead on when he took on the protesters of the flag on the 23rd of September, 23/9. It was so obvious. We said, okay, it's going to be Philadelphia versus the team with the flag on the helmet, the Patriots. And we already had the Patriots in the Super Bowl that year, way before we even did that. We were just looking for the NFC team. Super Bowl 51 with Brady's 93 offensive plays told us he'd be playing in the next Super Bowl on the 93rd Meridian West in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 93 land. But anyway, this stuff is a tribute to Satan. And I was documenting tonight the tributes they were doing to Satan again. They do it pretty much every day when you're aware of it. But realize this game last night was a rematch of Super Bowl 55, where The Weeknd was the halftime performer. And he came down from the rafters with glowing red eyes like a fallen angel, like Satan, for the Super Bowl 55 halftime show. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Fallen Angel's also 55. Yeah, it is. They had The Weeknd, and literally look into it. The Weeknd flashes Satan on the billboards in the stadiums at his concerts. Very quickly, he'll flash the word Satan. You think it's a joke. These people are all about it. And one more time, again, to the occult, Satan is Saturn. The planet Saturn is Satan to the occult. When Brady beat Mahomes in Super Bowl 55, again, it was Chiefs-Bucks, just like Monday Night Football game. Brady got his 7th ring, like Saturn has 7 rings. Saturn equates to 93, like Monday Night Football equates to 93. Mahomes became 9-3 on Monday Night Football last night, 93 days after Brady's birthday. Brady, born in a major Illuminati ritual, 201 years after the Illuminati and the country. Again, he was married to Giselle, born on the 201st day of the year. He had 201 passing yards in Super Bowl 55. On and on and on. ESPN has the article from a decade ago about the road to 201 and how he got it against the Rams back when they were in St. Louis, when the Jesuit University, St. Louis, is where the first forward pass in football history is credited to. And, of course, 201 is very important to the Jesuits. That's why the first Jesuit pope's the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, and it's why this nation, run by the Jesuits, has its inauguration day on 20/1, the 201st day of the nation's age. All right. But again, the Order of Illuminati, founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. George Washington wrote his letter back in the 1700s about his concern about the Illuminati overtaking Freemasonry. Bavarian Illuminati's 80, the original name of the Illuminati before it was changed to Order of Illuminati. And again, Illuminati's also 48 with all this ritual with Donald Trump and Cleveland. And Hollywood's another 48 word, as is Freemason. So again, both these teams became 8-0, both in 48 rituals, both clearly in tribute to the rigged selection that followed, which was today, where Trump is on the brink of being declared president-elect again. while the country's 248 years old. And Fox News just updated it. So now he's at 267. They called Georgia for him, and they must have called one other state. 267 is the Philadelphia area code. That's where Kamala was the day of the Butler shooting. Philadelphia, the original capital. And by the way, you guys, in Revelation, who gets the letter about the synagogue of Satan? The Church of Philadelphia does. And what is 216 anyway, besides the Cleveland area code? It's the product of 6 times 6 times 6. So from 248 to 216. And notice all these networks run a little bit different things. Let's see what the BBC's got. They got Kamala on 187. The numbers are funny, man. All these things equal 187. Holy Roman Empire, Society of Jesus, Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, Washington, D.C., George Washington, Brotherhood of Death, that's the alias of Skull and Bones. The word Abrahamic alone is 187, like there's 187 chapters in the Torah, and almost all of the numbers gain their symbolism from verses in the Torah, which are the first 5 books of the Bible. Trump's 246. I'm drawing a blank on what to say about that one right now that the BBC has, but the 187 is interesting. 187 was big when Trump had his convention in Cleveland. You might recall his convention in Cleveland began on the 18th day of the 7th month, 187 days from Inauguration Day. We were talking about that in a big way back before he even started that convention. We were just saying, oh, look how they have that lined up for Trump. Again, through that whole first part of 2016, even before he was the nominee, I was saying why they were going to put him in there because he was so polarizing and he's perfect to divide the nation. But they got Kamala in the 60 million range in the 60th election as Trump is on the cusp. All right, that's how the BBC has it. Let's see how MSNBC, the Bill Gates network, has it. Oh, they're actually not putting up a count right now. They're saying the Republicans took the Senate. Let's see how CNN's got it scored. CNN. Looks like they don't want to show these networks. They don't want to. They took their counts down. That's interesting. Well, I see on their screen though they got the 187, 246. So they got the same thing the BBC had going. Here, we'll just run through all the news networks and see if there's discrepancies in what they're showing at this time. ABC is giving Kamala a little bit more, 194 to 246. It's funny how they got the Republicans on 202 right now in the House. That's the DC area code. NBC News. Let's see. Showing where MSNBC is not. They're showing 93% of the votes in Pennsylvania with Trump with a 3.5% lead thereabout. And again, if it goes for him, it's a done deal. I'm not sure if Fox News had already given it to him. We'll go back and look at that. Trump in Michigan, they're saying 68% in. And by the way, that's the other thing they keep saying is that this is also, so Fox News tonight used twice that I heard use the word resurrection with Trump, saying this is the greatest political resurrection since 1892 when Grover Cleveland came back and had his second term. And then another pundit said the same phrase, this is the greatest resurrection since 68. That was the year of assassinations, MLK and RFK. And of course, now Trump and RFK teamed up. And I did notice that for a lot of the night, a lot of the networks for a long time had Trump on 195 electoral votes. Remember, the shooting thing was on the 195th day of the year. Robert Kennedy, 195. And then right after the shooting, he teamed up with Kennedy, and Kennedy got Secret Service. And don't forget, the words in the CIA's logo, Central Intelligence Agency, United States of America, if I can spell it right. Or I actually got it backwards. The CIA, of course, was established on the 201st day of the Pope's age. It's also got that 267, like the Philadelphia Code. It's actually this. It's the CIA's motto. It's the work of a nation, the center of intelligence. it's got the 201 as well, like the CIA's words. Like, again, that's the number of the Jesuits. The Jesuits are known to be the greatest intelligence network in the world because of Catholic confession. Yeah, look into that. That's been talked about by CIA agents themselves, that they are outmatched by the Jesuit Catholic network because of the power of confession and all the information they get through confessional. But the work of a nation, the center of intelligence, also has that 195. And I mean, the whole bandage year with the miraculous hill, I mean, you could argue it was a greater work than the resurrection itself. And all of this stuff is meant to be a blasphemy. And remember, we told you right away that it was a tribute to Van Gogh, who cut off his ear. And the next thing you know, they were like comparing it to Van Gogh. It's just like, oh my God, make it stop. But yeah, for tonight, a lot of the networks were just paused at 195. And I'm like, the great shooting moments. And remember, that was 115 days before the November 5th election. And again, November 5th is when the Jesuits tried to assassinate King James, when King James, who died at 58, was a big part of Trump's election in 2016. Again, the 58th U.S. presidential selection. So let me go back to that Fox map. How did they get to 267 before everybody else? They did give Pennsylvania to Trump. That's how. They already called it for him, whereas the other places haven't. But I mean, it's going to be hard for her to come back from that many votes with only 7% remaining. So if Trump at this point gets any of the remaining states and they don't have to change something around like they did in 2000, if you weren't alive in 2000, they called the election for Al Gore. For about an hour, we had heard on the news that Al Gore was the winner of the election. And then it was Fox News, when Fox News had recently just been created by the Republican Party. If you guys don't know that, Fox News was literally created by the Republican Party. It's a Republican Party news network. But it was Fox News who then broke the news. Wait a minute, in Florida, it looks like it's actually going to George W. Bush. And I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. The state where his brother is the governor. And then if you looked into it, you would have saw that his brother was the 43rd governor. George W. Bush ended up becoming the 43rd president. Their daddy was the 43rd vice president. Again, it's always been this same number joke. Florida equals 43. Florida 43. Yale's also 43. Like how daddy was the 43rd vice president. The son was the 43rd, and they were both in Yale, Skull and Bones. And with regards to Skull and Bones, it equals 41. Like how Papa Bush was number 41. Papa Bush's birthday is June 12th, the day leaving 202 days left in the year. George W. Bush's birthday is 7/6. Remember, they took down the Georgia Guidestones on his 76th birthday on 7/6. The ones that were put up on March 22nd, 322, like Skull and Bones is Order 322. And again, they're modeled after the Bavarian Illuminati. And they also get their symbolism from how the Templars bury their dead in an ossuary. And the Templars were they were suspended in history, or they were suppressed in history on March 22nd, just like how the Jesuits went through a suppression. And remember, the Jesuits, in the middle of their logo is the Templar cross. And a Jesuit created the Illuminati, Skull and Bones modeled after the Illuminati with symbolism from the Templars. All of this stuff goes back to the Roman Catholic Church. And with regards to the Holy Roman Empire, you guys, that's another thing going on with this ritual of Trump, because Trump's had so many rituals with 218, and the Holy Roman Empire supposedly folded on August 6th. That's the 218th day of the year in the year 1806. That means it's 218 days later, or not 18, but 218 years later, as Trump gets re-election. And notice, Holy Roman Empire has that 88 like Trump. It also has that 74, like how Trump left office at 74, now returns. In that same cipher, Jesus Christ is 74. So is George Washington. George Washington became the first recognized president in U.S. history the same year Jesuit Georgetown was established, 1789. Again, these things are not an accident. This is who runs our nation. And Donald Trump about to speak to supporters soon. So, yeah, this was the initial thought. And admittedly, I told you the last few months, it became a lot more interesting. But like I kept telling you guys, initial thoughts are usually the best one. And it is still very possible because they've done some major tributes for Kamala in 47. Trump might be elected number 40, the 47th president-elect tonight, but he might end up becoming number 48, and Kamala might become 47 because Slow Joe. Maybe this will just weigh so hard on Slow Joe, and his days are numbered. You know what I mean? So, Slow Joe again. He won the 72 election as a senator. That was the 47th U.S. presidential election. And then Obama took office at age 47. Still a chance Kamala becomes number 47, even if not elected through him not finishing his term. And one more time, Harris is similar to Harrison. The shortest term president in U.S. history was William Henry Harrison, who was only in office for 1 month because he died. And the other Harrison in office was the one between the two Grover Cleveland terms. Grover Cleveland was number 22 and number 24. That's why Trump announced at the end of 2022 that he was running for 24. We covered that back then, and so that was another sign that he'd become Grover Cleveland. But imagine if Harris ends up in between these terms. It's a lot like Harrison. So anyhow, someone says the line to vote was insane. Why? Well, my question is, why were you voting? Why were you voting in a rigged selection? Somebody sent me the screenshot actually that they went to vote in Washington, D.C. just to write my name in on the ballot, which I guess thank you for doing that. I find that funny. It's probably going to get me on another Fed list. Who's this guy they wrote in here? But yeah, here, let me take you through the screenshots I was just documenting tonight with the rituals. Let me get a screenshot of this one too. All right, they just declared something for Kamala. 226 to 267. But anyway, we talked about 248 and 216. President Donald Trump, 248. The country and the Illuminati are 248 years old. In 2016, when he had his convention in the 216 area code, that election was called for him while he was at 248 electoral votes. And it was with 88% of the vote in when Trump equals 88 and President Donald Trump's 248, like purple's 88, and Hillary and Bill conceded in purple. In tribute to Prince, Mr. Purple Rain, who died that year right after Vanity died the day of the 58th Grammys. Prince died 47 days from his birthday, like Trump's 47. And for the moment, Trump's going to be the 47th president-elect. Again, this word, I was flipping all over, but just in flipping all over 2 times on Fox News, they had different pundits come on and refer to this as a resurrection of Donald Trump. We've been talking about this for a long time. Trump leaving at 74 and his political career being resurrected in 2024 as Grover Cleveland. We've been talking about this like a broken record for years. Jesus, cross, Messiah, gospel, parables, Masonic, occult, Roman, Holy Roman Empire, Jesus Christ, George Washington. The list goes on. Lucifer is also 74. Killing is 74. Stabbing 74. The 74th day of the year is to remember the stabbing of Caesar, the Ides of March. 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents died on 7/4. Holiday equals 74. Independence Day equals 74. Those 3 presidents who died were all outspoken against the Jesuits and the Catholic Church. Jefferson and Adams both died together on July 4th, 1826. They both said that this nation could be sabotaged if the Jesuits came out of suppression. 1,826 days later, Monroe died on 7/4. Again, nobody even blinks an eye at this stuff. I remember being a kid and realizing that. And my teacher was like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Like, kind of weird. Kind of creepy. What the hell's going on in this nation? Have you ever heard of a coincidence, Zach? A lot of people have said that to me in my life. Have you ever heard of a coincidence? Like, yeah, I don't think this is one. Have you ever heard of the phrase, there's no such thing as coincidence? I actually don't agree with that phrase. I do think there is such a thing as a coincidence, but not 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents dying on 7/4. Oh, no. Not when the Ides of March, to remember the killing of Caesar, is on the 74th day of the year. R.I.P. to what they did to Bob Lee. Something I've talked about 1,000 times too, including in the streets of San Francisco, including earlier this morning. So we'll forgo that for now. But coming back, just going down memory lane, all the things we covered tonight. What are we getting on X right now? 623. We get better views on X than we do on YouTube, which is sad because I've been on YouTube for way longer. Again, in Jewish gematria, you guys, Satan 232. We've talked about this with Obama. When Obama became president, it was while the country was 232 years old. And again, Barack means lightning. You guys remember when the Wisconsin couple got killed by the White House on Obama's birthday the other year after getting struck by lightning? That was a national news story. But again, Satan comes to earth in a bolt of lightning. Barack means lightning. Barack Obama was elected while the country was 232 years old. And then again, he told the Church of Satan joke about Trump becoming the next president. And nobody realizes that MAGA is the highest degree of the Church of Satan, which is very easy to look up and verify. CNN had Trump at plus 48 at this point. Well, this is what Fox had at the time, and this is what CNN had at the time. They had Donald Trump up 48. Again, Donald Trump 48 like Cleveland. Earlier tonight, one of my videos looked like this. It had 2 views and 40 likes. So again, once upon a time, we used to be able to get good views. I think this is part of the reason we can't get views anymore, because the algorithm just manipulates your numbers. How do you have 40 likes and 2 views? I mean, come on. Again, this was the count at one point. Kamala Harris 212. Trump stuck on the old Satan number, Mr. Mega. The New York Times at one point tonight said Trump had an 88% chance to beat Kamala. They got a guy in a purple shirt. It just reminds me when they called the election at 88% in 2016. And Bill and Hillary came out in purple. Again, remember, purple equals 88. Elizabeth equals 88, as in Queen Elizabeth. Trump came out to Queen We Are the Champions 88 days after Queen Elizabeth's birthday, which was also the day Prince died of purple rain, things we were talking about in 2016. And again, Trump 88. And for the record, the Republican Party's 88. So, and Holy Roman Empire is 88. Yesterday, I was telling you how Make America Great Again is 91, and Quincy Jones's death at 91, and how it was announced on Sean Combs' birthday, another record producer who went to Howard like Kamala. But I was saying how Quincy Jones's first hit song was "It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want To," and it was synced with Kamala. And I was saying this, I was like, is that going to be like Kamala's crying about she didn't get the results, at the party? So tonight she was very disappointed at Howard. I'm sure Diddy was there too. All these fake headlines about him being in jail. That's all BS for all you guys caught up in that psyop as well. Bad Boy equals 49. Kamala Harris 49, the 49th VP. They both went to Howard. Diddy's Mr. Vote or Die, Rock the Vote. Supposedly gets arrested 49 days before his birthday after 1,000 rituals by the numbers leading up to it. Not to mention we called it before he even turned 54, why he'd go down at 54 like R. Kelly. And he had the same Jesuit prosecutor from Georgetown, which was established by a 54-year-old John Carroll once upon a time, going after him, the same one that took R. Kelly down at age 54. All Jesuit jokes from Diddy to this. Moving on. Trump was the first one to get to 211 tonight. 211 is the 47th prime number. It's kind of like how the Vatican's birthday is February 11th, 211. Vatican equals 47, like government, like authority, like president, like White House, like Caesar, like Republican, like Democrat, like the letters DC alone, like the name Trump, like how Kamala spoke at the DNC on the anniversary of Huey P. Newton's death at 47, and on and on and on. But Trump, 211, 47th prime. Kamala at 153. Okay, I see what they did there. Jesuit Order 153. The Illuminati 153. Holy Bible 153. The miraculous catch of 153 fish. 153 is the 17th triangular number. Trump took office in 2017 after having his convention in Cleveland, in Ohio, the 17th state, And remember, 17 is big with the Masons, too. Modern Freemasonry was created in 1717. Freemasonry 59. That's the 17th prime number. This nation was created by Masons 59 years later in 1776. But Trump was also at 58 at that point, right? Like he won the 58th election. So remember, the BBC's run by Jesuits, just like New York Times. This count was interesting. Trump got stuck on 214 electoral votes in 2016. Trump got stuck on 214. Remember, the highest degree of the Church of Satan is mega. Church of Satan equals 214. Been some 214 business with Trump, but that was a big one when he got stuck on it in 2020. And notice in that count that they were putting up, AP, he was up 35. He was up 35 while on 214. This is when Kamala started to rally. It was deja vu, but up 35, that's one of the Satan-connected numbers, you know? Up 35 on 214 while Kamala was rallying. Because remember, Trump had this big old commanding lead, and then she took the whole West Coast. By the way, did you see earlier? I don't know if it's changed, but earlier they said Trump had 45% of the vote in Illinois. Illinois equals 45. It's like, oh, yeah. I'm sure that's what percent of the vote he has in Illinois. 45, I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh, Bummer's state, where Kamala spoke for the DNC in tribute to Fred Hampton, who got assassinated by the feds there. Because, again, he was the famous Black Panther, like Huey P. Newton founded the party. And he founded the party with help from Kamala's father, Donald J. Harris. Again, Huey P. Newton dead at 47. But, yeah, Trump was on 216 for a while. He was leading Kamala by 23. 23. Donald 23 again. Harris' son was the 23rd president before Grover Cleveland. Like Cleveland's the 216 returned. Again, Trump was the first to 211 tonight. 47th prime number. I mean, I've gone over what is 47 1,000 times. I just can't bear to do it one more time. But you know what? Out of all the counts they threw up there tonight, this one made me laugh the hardest. This one absolutely made me laugh the hardest. Again, Inauguration Day is the 201st day of the nation's age, 20/1. It's why we said Biden was going to win in 2020, because Beau Biden was sacrificed in a 201 ritual. And again, the same Jesuit priest who did the funeral for Beau Biden at 46 did the inauguration for Joe Biden is number 46. Leo Jeremiah O'Donovan, the 42nd head of Georgetown. But literally his name 201. And he did. Beau Biden died 201 days before the Pope's birthday. And if you guys don't know, the Pope's birthdays, or his name is Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 201. The founder of the Jesuits is Ignatius of Loyola, 201. Again, the Jesuit orders 201. Founder of the Illuminati was a Jesuit. Order of Illuminati 201. Adam Weishaupt died 201 days after the anniversary of the Illuminati's establishment. The Jesuits created the state of Israel, if you don't know that. That's why we're always sending money over there. Netanyahu left Israel in a 201 ritual, returned on Albert Pike's birthday, who wrote the letter about 3 world wars, which were published on the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th, 1871. That day is 1229, where 1229 is the 201st prime. The day Netanyahu came back, I laid out why a major war would start in Israel in 2023, around the time Yale would turn 322. That war started 2 days before Yale turned 322 years old. But again, it's the Jesuits who run all these things, just like why the Twin Towers became 0 towers before they became One World Trade Center 201. All these things totally connected. And for the record, if you go to the U.S. government website and look at what they call January 20th, they call it Inauguration of the President of the United States. That's what it says on the website. 201. Just like how the CIA was created on the 201st day of the Pope's age. And as we covered earlier, the words in their logo equal 201. Their motto, the center of a nation, the center, or what is it again? The work of a nation, the center of intelligence is 201. People trying to call in right now, I will take calls. But anyway, 201st day of the nation's age is Inauguration Day. Harris being on 91 while he was on 201. Make America Great Again. 91. Earlier today, I covered almost just minutes after it happened. Fox News blurted out, and I wrote down the timestamp for anyone who wants to go back and look at their broadcast. I'm out here on the West Coast. It was 11:13 a.m. when they said it. Would have been 2:13 on the East Coast with their broadcast. At 11:13 a.m., they said the Dow Jones is at 404 points, and this signals, I forget the exact quote, good sign for Trump tonight, something like that. And I was like, are you kidding me? The Dow's up 404 points, and this is a good sign for Trump? Again, that's why you have to be aware of this knowledge, and you just see how you're being mocked. Make America Great Again, 404. Where's 404 in the Bible? Revelation, 404 verses. We told you why Trump made so much sense to become president before he did back in 2016, because they were doing all this biblical stuff with him. And then the whole scandemic was totally biblical. 666 days after the first simulation for it, the pandemic was declared. 2 years to the day of that simulation, which was Clade X, Trump declared Operation Warp Speed on Mercuralia. But you see how Holy Bible's 45 forwards and backwards, just like Mike Pence is. The most biblical thing we've ever seen in this nation's history was the scandemic, where they made you accept the thing if you wanted to buy or sell or go to school or have a life. And there is a cipher known as Sumerian Gematria, which is just multiplying the alphabetic order times 6. And this was the thing that you had to get, you know? You had to get this thing. So... And it isn't the word mask, which before they had the thing out, the mask, which is one letter off from Mark, you had to put your slave muzzle on, your mask, M-A-S-K, M-A-R-K. You had to put that thing on if you wanted to buy or sell. And then they were tracking you with the computers when Apple, with the bite out of it, you know, their logo, they partnered up with the government along with Google, which is the Jesuit order. That's why Sundar Pichai, their leader, is Mr. 201, and they celebrate their birthday on the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by Rome. And, of course, Google became the thing at, like, the same time 9/11 happened. Nobody had ever heard of Google until, like, right when 9/11 happened. Trust me, I was from that era. I was in high school and graduated in 2001. Through middle school and high school, when we started using computers in school, Yahoo and Alta Vista were the search engines. No one had ever heard of Google. I was a freshman in college and had just started when 9/11 happened. And that's when all the professors were saying we all needed to start using Google. It's so obvious, you guys. That company, everyone started having cell phones in their pockets. 9/11, Patriot Act, surveillance everywhere. The scandemic when Trump on March 13th, 2020, Friday the 13th, associated with the Templars, the bankers, same time he was signing off on $6.2 trillion in loans, he was also instituting all those Patriot Act measures that had been laid dormant, really building the surveillance state. And again, they were keeping tabs on us during the curfew. Apple, Google volunteered to work for the government to keep surveillance over the populace. Who's obeying curfew? Remember all the stuff they were doing? The new 5G allowed them to see with greater detail if too many people were in an area. Apple priced their first consumer computer at $666. Have you ever looked at how Google's logo is kind of like overlapping sixes? These things aren't an accident, okay? Just like how it's not an accident that Trump runs on the highest degree of the Church of Satan, because that's what rules over us, this evil satanic thing. For the record, the Holy Bible's 201 as well. Just coming back to the base ciphers, because all this shit is biblical. You don't have to be a believer to understand that these people use the Bible like a playbook. And again, Trump's selling $60 Bibles after he buries his ex-wife who falls down the stairs 60 weeks into the Jesuit Ignatian year and then buries her on the 201st day of the year, July 20th, 2022. Look it up. It's all facts. Here, let's just do it real quick for the 10,000th time. When did the Jesuit Ignatian year begin? I know it began May 20th, 2021, but I just need you to see it. It began May 20th, 2021. That's Cannonball Day. Do you remember when Ignatius Loyola got shot by a cannonball? R.I.P. to Billy Cannon, who died that day. How funny that Judge Eileen Cannon wanted Trump in her courtroom on May 20th, but he couldn't be there because he was battling Alvin Bragg. Bragg versus the Braggarts. But anyway, May 20th, 2021. It ended July 31st, 2022, as you can see. That's the day they did Bill Russell dirty, who went to the Jesuit University in San Francisco and played for Boston. And then he died by the numbers right after the Warriors dropped Boston to 17-5 in the NBA Finals when Golden State equals 175, like Pope Francis, like how it was all set on the Pope's birthday, like we told you so that season. But anyway, so What day did Ivana Trump die? It was July 14th, 2022. The same day the guy who designed the McDonald's logo died. And there's a reason that movie came out on Inauguration Day in 2017. And we've been covering all that and why they killed Morgan Spurlock, who did the McDonald's documentary in tribute to Trump, which we covered at the beginning of the year. And his whole French fries ritual on Kamala's birthday. The Jesuits are from France. French fries, 60. Golden Arches, 60. Donald Trump, 60. Right after that story, E. coli outbreak, which supposedly began on September 27th, which is when the Jesuits were recognized by Roman history, the day leaving 95 days left in the year to counter the 95 Theses. And who discovered E. coli? Oh, that's right, a Jesuit-educated scientist. Look it up. But anyway, let's go back to the Jesuit Ignatian year, May 20th, and then let's measure to Ivana's death, and let's see if it was exactly 60 weeks, because we already know it was. And this was, again, I would like you guys to go back and look at this day. You know, even if you were high, as I probably was that day, I did quit smoking weed when I was 40, but even if you were high like I was, it was still too undeniable to not get it. There were 3 stories that day. The first one was Trump came out and said he'd be running in the next election, which was the 60th. The second one that day, and I was here that day covering all these stories as they broke, and I was, then when the second one came, I did another. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Conservatives against Donald Trump based on 60 legal cases? Look it up." That story came out on that day too, and I already thought that was bad enough. I was already done right there. I was like, "Come on, you guys." We'd already been talking since well before this why he was going to come back and be Grover Cleveland. But then the third story came that day. Ivana Trump fell down the stairs and died. And I was just like, oh my God. And then they buried her on the 201st day of the year. And I did it again. I said, oh my God. I mean, like, what is wrong with it? Like, why doesn't everybody know about this? How's that Iranian guy so viral on YouTube? Who the hell's watching that guy? Don't tell me that guy's not some CIA asset. He's on Fox News at night. He's streaming on YouTube every morning. The Iranian guy who hides his accent, what's his name? BPD or something? Who's watching this shit? Why do you guys like watching these dummies who bullshit you all day? You're like, oh yeah, I love Trump. I love Trump. Oh, I love this World Series is great. It's like, why are people watching this? Why aren't you watching what we're doing over here and pan your pockets? We had the Dodgers to win the World Series in spring training. We had Dodgers versus Yankees mid-season. We doubled down on it once the playoffs came around. Why were you listening to BPD, the Iranian CIA asset, and not the guy who keeps calling the future, not because he's a psychic, but because he's figured out who rigs the game and how? Remember when the Dodgers beat the Rays to end the 32-year drought when there's 32 sun rays on the Jesuit Order's logo? I do. Called that one too. Anyway, this stuff is sick. Mr. Mega then is even going to mock these Christian sheep and sell them Bibles. And I can't tell you how many Christians I've ran into that, if you're a Christian, you got to vote for Trump. Oh, yeah, because every Christian votes for a guy who shoves his ex-wife down the stairs and kills her and fakes getting shot in the ear and treats people like they're a bunch of morons and gets away with it. By the way, don't you have to be a moron to believe in these stories, religious and historical and whatnot? Paul Revere. Yeah, Paul Revere just got on his horse and carried a torch and said the redcoats are coming, and everybody got up and fought and won the war. Can you imagine, like, me going outside on a horse in the middle of the night? The redcoats are coming with the torch. I mean, nobody's even going to hear anything. I'd be snoring logs through the whole damn thing. But that's not what you learn in the history book. In the history book, he woke them all up, and they got up, and they won the war. Yeah, okay. Have you guys seen the important wars going on right now? Let's not forget that Joe, oh yeah, don't you guys know it was the 201st day of the war in Israel? Yeah, it was, that Joe Biden sent $95 billion over to ancient Khazaria in Israel. Yeah, go look it up. $95 billion. Oh, that's right. The Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses and recognized by Rome on the day leaving 95 days left in the year. Oh, that's right. From Martin Luther penning the 95 Theses to the creation of the Jesuits was 201 months later. Oh, that's right. From Martin Luther King Jr. getting assassinated on the 95th day of the year to the nation's first gun control legislation was 201 days later. Oh my God, the Event 201 pandemic simulation was the same day the military world games began in Wuhan, China, and they started in 95. Hold on, is Trump about to start talking? We got to catch the ritual for what time Trump goes out on the stage. It's almost 2 a.m. They're saying he's going to take the stage any minute. He's not going to take the stage at 2:01 a.m. on the East Coast, is he? I'm going to die if he goes out and accepts the nomination at 2:01 a.m. Oh my God. Are they going to do this? Are they going to do this, you guys? Are they going to have Trump take the stage at 2:01 a.m. in the morning? Hold on. I got to get it up here. I have a feeling they're going to do this. They're saying any minute he's going to take the stage, and I see that it's almost 2 a.m. on the East Coast. I'm out here on the West Coast. It's almost 11 out here. 654,000 watching the chump about to take. They're talking about when it was called for him on November 9th, 2016. Hold on, I got to switch the audio settings here so you guys can hear. Hold up. Hold up.
Luncheon at the Capitol after the inauguration. The Obamas and the Clintons were there. I was there to see it myself.
All right, let's see if they do this, you guys. Are they going to do this? If he takes the stage at 2:01 a.m., I'm done. I'm done, man. Oh, boy. Trump just hit 270. Did you see what time he hit 270 at officially? You have to go back and check the timeline. At 1:24 a.m. What did I just have up there that was 1:24? Oh, I forget what the 1:24 connection is. It's not this, is it? No, it's not that. Hold on, I got to cheat. I know I just had something up here a minute ago that was 1:24, and I was looking at that. I was like, is there something to the 1:24? The Lion King. Don't kid yourself. The Cubbies, they won the World Series right before he won in 2016. We had that one in spring training. I don't think it's about Led Zeppelin. New Jersey is kind of like a used car salesman for New Jersey. Jeffrey Dahmer. It's another 201 ritual in history. Hold on, I'm trying to see if there's an actual 214 that fits in with this ritual. Loneliness, the word for the truth seeker. Michael Jackson, they probably wish they could dig him up to sacrifice him for the selection. Father Alive, yeah, that one fits in. I don't think that's it, though. The Simpsons. The Simpsons could be part of it. A lot of predictive programming with The Simpsons. Tower of Babel, that was part of the joke with 9/11. The Tower of Babel story ends on Genesis 11:9. The 11th day of the 9th month, the tower that divides the world. The Joker. They've done a lot of Joker stuff with Trump. Let's not forget when he appeared in the courtroom when he got the 34 charges against him. That was on what would have been the 44th birthday of Heath Ledger, and it was on April 4th. And again, they had just filmed the latest Joker scene in that courtroom, and they've released both those Joker movies with Joaquin Phoenix on the day leaving 88 days left in the year when Trump's 88. The first one ends with everybody in a mask, and the next thing you knew, the pandemic was on, and they were telling everybody to put a mask on. McKinley, maybe, because McKinley was shot in... Wait, McKinley's assassination gave us Teddy Roosevelt, and J.D. Vance was the youngest VP nominee since Teddy Roosevelt, and he was nominated in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where Teddy Roosevelt was shot. So maybe there's a connection with that. And with all this 80 stuff with Trump, do you think something might happen to him when he's age 80? I could see that. He's 78 right now. Again, Cleveland equals 78. That's a big thing we've been talking about for years, that when he turns 78, Cleveland 78, the nation's second Grover Cleveland, 78 cards in the tarot deck. The top cards are Trump cards. Trump cards tarot cards equals 119, like how he'll take office with the 119th Congress, like how the election was called for him on November 9th. Well, it looks like they didn't do it at 2:01 a.m. It's not going to be 2:01 because it must be 2:02 out there right now. That's interesting how the Tampa Bay Bucks thing is like that, because they were part of the ritual last night with the Chiefs there. You know what the next time they might pull him out at is 2:11. 2:11's the 47th prime. That could be the next most fitting ritual. We'll see. 2:11, 47th prime. At 1 minute after that would be 2:12, which would be the 132nd minute of the day, like it was 132 years ago that Grover Cleveland became re-elected for the split term. Again, 132 rooms in the White House. So, or 9 minutes from 2:12, or 8 minutes from 2:11 East Coast time. I saw something earlier that I wrote up that was 124 that didn't come up here in this list. I know it was something else. I forget what it was.
That's all we have from the Harris team, which is really strange. I mean, from a PR perspective, Dan.
Isn't it funny, just Trump becoming the 47 with all the 47 stuff over the years for Trump? I've done more in 47 months than Biden's done in 47 years. And you know, like, if we had real journalism in this country, they'd be talking about this right now. They'd be like, we got to go out to the guy who's been pointing this out for a long time, that this selection might very well be rigged for Donald Trump. And here we are again. 1:24 a.m. is also the 84th minute of the day. Remember that town that's next to Butler? Hold on. Remember, Trump returned to Butler 84 days after the shooting. Butler's 78 like his age, 84 days after the shooting. Again, Jesuits got that 78, 84. United States of America has that 84. You throw or actually it's 132, just like I was saying, like 132 rooms in the White House. Again, it was named 132 days after the Illuminati was founded. But there's a town next to Butler called 84 PA, and most people in the town believe it's named in tribute to Grover Cleveland. So 1:24 a.m. is the 84th minute of the day. All right. I hope the sound's not annoying with them in the background.
It just seems very ungracious.
Maybe I'll mute them in the background here until the chump comes out while I talk. Thank you very much, Juan Castillas. I got 47 problems with Kamala Harris isn't one. He just donated $47. Dude, it doesn't matter who they put in there. All these people are a problem. The fact the federal government still exists and America hasn't figured out how evil and corrupt they are, we all got more than 47 problems. That's the reality. But again, rigged sports, rigged selections. So same story. Thank you very much, Pretty Kitty. I appreciate that. Open Up said, did you see the article by Christian Broadcast Network from a few days ago? Witches report their spells against Trump aren't working. He has a shield. They've been doing that for so long. The witches against Trump. There's been so many headlines like that, like going back to 2015. Yeah, what a joke. Valentino. It will be interesting to see the electoral vote on the screen when he speaks on national television. Probably another 248. Well, it looks like at this point it's going to be past that. They got him at 277, the 59th prime. Again, he won the 58th and he lost in the 59th election, but now he's won the 60th. But remember, if you write out Independence Day, it also has that 277 in it. Of course, the 74 like 74, but again, this nation was founded 59 years after modern Freemasonry. yeah, modern Freemasonry was created in 1717. All right. Well, we're 4 minutes from 2:11. I'm thinking that's we'll see. We'll see. I know it's going to be symbolic when he comes out there. We've seen all this before, how they have these people just like come out at a very specific minute to the ritual. So we will see. Yeah, I know. My troll is obsessed with me. I live rent-free in his head. What are you going to do? If only we get people to share this work other than my trolls. Hey, for my troll who's watching and screen recording right now, why don't you do the whole world a favor and go back and do a compilation video of all the times I've talked about Trump becoming the next Grover Cleveland since 2021 after we called that election dead on. That would be such a beautiful compilation video. I bet that compilation video would just be hours long and would wake up a ton of people. You have great video editing skills. You've been screen recording everything. You're very well organized because you're good at collecting all the things that make me look bad. Imagine if you were helping me out. We might have actually changed the world for the better right now. As far as I know, you have to pay taxes to this federal tyrannical government too. Much love, ZKH. A 22nd birthday for me to remember the 5th of November. Happy birthday to you. Hey, it's good to be young. I wish I could be 22 again. What I guarantee that my troll's going to do is take the compilations of the last few months where I've explained why maybe my prediction about Trump isn't right. He'll do the compilation video of that, and it's like, pretty disingenuous, because for years we've been saying Trump's coming back as the next Grover Cleveland, and I have explained they have made things tighter with the rituals they did for Kamala, but we might soon find out why they were doing that, because she might still become number 47 through Biden not finishing his term. And then the Gerald Ford prophecy will be complete. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that my troll's a voter. All right, well, we wait for the chump to come out here and we document what time he comes out at. Let's get some people to call in. Let's get some people to participate in the stream. Did you vote in the rig selection? Did you learn about what I've been shown and not participate in the rig selection? Did you have another observation about the rig selection I'm overlooking? The link is here. When you write a comment, well, you live in a country that was built by Freemasons, what's your point? None of us get to choose where we're born into. These secret societies are all over the world, and they didn't start here in the United States of America either. So, again, they don't call it the New World Order for nothing. And by the way, New World Order equals the Jesuit order, and the Roman Catholic Church is everywhere. We got the voice. Hold on, let me make sure that I got everything right. I'm gonna have to flip around the audio now that I think about it. I don't even really want to hear from the chump. I can't stand listening to Trump talk. It's actually painful that he's going to be 4 years. 4 more years of the used car salesman. It's so good. It's so great. They're so bad. It's just, I don't do Trump impersonations, but it's just like listening to a 2-year-old talk. Or maybe a little bit older than 2. Maybe it's like age 6 or 7. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. This is going to be so good. It's going to be so perfect, so beautiful. What they're doing over there is the worst. It's awful. It's so insignificant, so tiny, so small. I'm so big. It's just like, God, I mean, just shut up. God. He really is a reflection of how pathetic this nation is. But here, let's go out to the man right here, the man of the hour, every hour. What's up, GAD?
How you doing, Zach? Yeah, man. Look, it's like this, right? I've been just hovering around certain communities on the different apps, just seeing what everybody's saying, just to see from their perspective, right? And a lot of times I'll be hitting your work here and there, occasionally, gradually, and just hitting to that this whole thing is rigged, right? Now, of course, like when that staged event where he got he was supposedly being targeted. The guy's name, if I remember correctly, I can't remember the exact which one,
The
but
guy in the BlackRock ad, the supposed shooter that looked like he was
yeah.
from Revenge of the Nerds that was in the BlackRock ad.
Yes. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So when I looked up his name, I forget which number specifically, but it matched up with a phrase, Trump reelected. All right. That was one thing that was very interesting to me earlier a few months ago. And also too, it's funny because I was on a live stream watching this with other people, and I noticed that right before they said, "Oh, he got," I forget which state it was. I think it might have been it was one of the West Coast states, and they said 201 versus 81. And the funny thing is, it went to 201, and I found that very interesting. But I didn't know. I had to go back and look up the 81 number because I did write down some notes where Kobe Bryant, his name was on there. I believe Illuminati was on there. Kamala Harris's name was on there. Right. So right when that started to happen, it was like, yeah, this is it's just funny how they just they stop right then and there on these particular numbers. And of course, I was watching on NBC, and of course they had the 5-pointed pentagram, on the network. So it was a lot of little symbolisms that was going on tonight. Of course, with the numbers, and of course then 91 and 201 hit. It's another numerological significance with that. So it was very peculiar with a lot of these numbers, and it's like, what direction were they going to go with this situation? But of course, it was appearing that Trump was going to get this no matter what. But what's your thoughts on those on what I just said a second ago?
I agree with all of it, and I was just pulling up the old post about just all this stuff with Trump being 78 at this time and how it brought him together with Kennedy. And again, people forgot the Trump hoax on July 13th under the 13 stripes was 13 weeks from the anniversary of the establishment of the Secret Service, which is the same day Lincoln was shot. And then Kennedy, RFK, got Secret Service attention after that happened. And it was a reminder that Joe Biden gave it to him when he had the same birthday as his father, RFK, who was assassinated in 1968. And that was, again, on the 195th day of the year. And Robert Kennedy equals 195, as does the name of the firefighter who supposedly got shot and killed. And also, the shooting hoax was 45 days after JFK's birthday anniversary, May 29th, when Trump's number 45, one of a gazillion 45 rituals with him.
Wow.
But yeah, and I was pointing out that day how assassin equals 115, and it was 115 days before the 11/5 election, when the November 5th date is remembered when the Jesuits tried to assassinate King James, and King James was the theme in 2016 when he won the 58th election, again after having the convention in Cleveland right after King James. LeBron won the finals on the real King James's birthday. And again, we were talking about Prince's death for Trump that year, and now the day before the election, Prince's sister dies. I mean, it's just like, come on, man.
Wow, yeah, and it's crazy with the RFK Jr. because it's funny because everybody's looking at him as someone very noble, right? And some of the things that he says from a two-dimensional, from a surface level perspective, sounds right? But it is kind of peculiar that he's with Trump, and of course, like you brought out, that's wow. That one. I mean, I watched your videos majority of the time, and I didn't catch that with his father.
And here, just to make a point too, this post, you guys, is from July 13th, right? The post I'm showing on the screen is from the day that the shooting happened, and I was showing how Butler equals 78 and 84 like Jesuit. Trump's Jesuit educated at Fordham. And I was saying how in 84, Reagan won re-election after being shot in 81. And that was 40 years ago, like Butler's on the 40th parallel and Reagan was number 40. When did Trump end up returning to Butler? He ended up returning 84 days later. And there's a town, again, named 84, Pennsylvania, right next to Butler that's named after Grover Cleveland. So,
right.
Nothing but jokes.
Now I got a okay. Now I have two things for you, right? And I'm pretty sure you might know this already. You might have pre-knowledge of this. Now, do you know? So, number one, I did a video on a channel way back in 2016 about a show called The End of the World, and one of the episodes had a guy named Trump, and he was building a brick. He was what was he doing? He was building a wall. Did you ever?
The Trackdown show that came out in 1958 when Trump was 12 years old, about the con man named Trump building a wall in Texas. Yeah, I've covered that. We were covering that back in 2015 or 16.
Okay, and then you know about the Baron Trump. Ironically enough, his son's Trump, and of course. Oh, my bad. Somebody's calling me. And also too, yeah, Baron Trump, which is the book of this guy named Trump, who's going to be the last president, right? You already know about, so you know about that as well.
Yeah, that book from way back. I forget who the author is of that book, but we were covering that a long time ago too. But yeah, if people don't know about this, look up this show from 1958 Trackdown about a con man named Trump building a wall in Texas. I mean, this stuff, you guys, it's so scripted. It's
wow, that was in Texas.
Yeah, I've gone back and watched this episode. You can watch it online. It's unbelievable.
Wow,
he's a snake oil salesman, is what they refer to him. And now Trump's going to take office in the year of the snake, and he's been telling that story about how the snake and they let me back. You know, he tells that story about the snake and how you knew what he was, but you let him in, and then he bit you.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And it's funny because I'm seeing a lot of people is happy that he's in office. A lot of just random people, but it's just funny. Like, this man is a professed Zionist. I mean, I have, there's photos of this man dressed up in red and white, in a Jesuit garment and shit, pledging his allegiance to the Vatican. So it's just very, very fun. It's very interesting how they're moving the sheeple out here.
Trump got a lot of attention on the 119th day of the year in 2017 for first reading the snake poem. He's read it a bunch of times since, but now he's going to take office with the 119th Congress in the year of the snake. And these are the things we've been looking at for a long time. I mean, there's a lot of things I've forgotten about because we covered them so many years ago, but there's been so many clues about Trump's return with the 119th Congress, including that Serta mattress ad from over a decade ago now, standing with the sheep with the 11s and 9s on them. So,
wow, that's wait. So yeah, this year is the year of the dragon, right? Or the year because last year was the year of the tiger. Or was it two?
I'm losing track, but I know the year of the snake starts next year.
Okay, year of the snake starts next. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. That's very interesting.
The other thing about 25 as well is just Trump equals 25. Like how Mahomes had the big 25 ritual last night on Monday Night Football after his mom endorsed Trump.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's yeah. But
so for all the people out there that are happy Trump's coming back, again, he's been telling you he's the snake. And you knew what he was, and you let him back in. So just watch when things get even worse than they did in 2020. Again, I'll be like, oh, no, that happened just while he was a part of that agenda. That's why it was all perfectly synced up with him. And he was signing off on the trade deal with China. Supposedly the virus landed in Bill Gates' backyard on the same day in the land of the big needle. And then he went along with the whole thing. And he went over to Switzerland the day it was confirmed in the country. And he signed off on all the debt that created all the inflation. So,
yeah, no doubt, man. That was, no, that's great stuff, man. Make me want to do a video on it because it's crazy. And once again, I mean, of course they play both sides. I don't know if it was Alberto Rivera. Alberto Rivera talked about it, but there was another a former Jesuit missionary. Someone sent me a video from like 2019 where they literally construct both sides, where they play both sides of the coin of the arguments, right? And they manipulate both sides with their proxy leaders and whatnot. And Trump, Yeah, man. People don't know what's coming, because you know what's funny about it. Because people are praising this dude. What's his name? The dude that's with him, Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk,
Another total stooge. Again, you guys, just total
right?
stooge. Listen, just one more time. I know I'm so redundant, but everyone has knows.
Yeah.
Go back and look at the time he was declared the world's richest man for the first time ever. It was January 7th, 2021, the 78th death anniversary of Tesla. Tesla 78, Jesuit 78, and now he's riding with Trump. I'm dark mega is what he keeps saying. What's on his hat? 78. Again, these people are total puppets and stooges. Elon Musk doesn't run anything. He doesn't run Twitter, which is now X. He doesn't run any rocket company. He doesn't run any car company. He sits online and plays video games in front of the world at night. No man who runs all these companies would ever have time to play video games. The man can hardly speak. He has like I don't know what's wrong with him. It looks like a Special Olympian. It reminds me of what's the guy who makes noises and grunts from a wheelchair and supposedly the brightest guy to ever live? You know what I'm talking about?
Was it Einstein?
Who figured out black holes and all this stuff. He sits in his wheelchair all crippled, grunting left and right, and supposedly
was that Einstein or?
No, it's not Einstein. It's God, I can't even think, dude. But it's another part of the sick joke, and Elon Musk is right there on the same level with that guy. So, yeah, Hawking, yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Okay, Stephen Hawking. Yeah, okay, my bad.
And by the way, they took him out by the numbers too. That was like back in 2018. So. Yeah, Stephen Hawking's like in his chair, like crippled, going, and they're like, "Oh yeah, most genius shit I ever heard in my life." It's like, dude,
no, that's the fucking joke. That to me, that was the biggest joke. That dude looked crippled as a motherfucker. Couldn't speak.
Did you see Elon Musk when he debuted the Dark Mega jumping on stage, getting about a 0.5 millimeter off the ground? I mean, it looked totally like a Special Olympian. It looked like when you were in high school and you walked past the special ed classroom and they told you, they're like, "I know it might look funny in there, but don't be an asshole and don't laugh." I was just like, God, you can't tell me this guy didn't come up on the short bus.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, no, he's an actor. I mean, he's not the one, creating. I mean, he's a poster child, but he's not the one moving his Neuralink, Mark of the Beast, Synagogue of Satan technology. He's not the one moving that. He's just a face. The funny thing that he said, I think it was a couple of days ago, once Trump gets in, people need to expect there's going to be hard times coming, as if there's not already hard times already. He said, but after a certain time, it's going to get better. In other words, what I'm thinking he's saying is that there's going to be a reset after a certain period of time. I mean, that's what is looking like to me. Is what he's saying. All right. Now, could things get better to a certain degree? Yeah, maybe to a certain degree. But once again, like, a snake is a snake is a snake. It's designed and programmed to bite you.
Indeed. By the way, this Trump thing, they said minutes ago, a long time ago. Now I'm starting to wonder, they're not going to bring him out at 2:48 a.m. while the country's 248 years old. At this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm not sure exactly where they're going with this, but it's 23 minutes till 2:48 East Coast time. They've had it up there forever that it says in minutes. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, is that him coming out now?
Or maybe he's coming out right now. What time is it there? 2:25.
2:25, and it's 11:25, and over here. So
2:25 is the 145th minute of the day. There's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament. He said he's going to fix what's going on in Israel, which was established on 14/5. Catholics 145. The other thing about 225 is it's the Great Tribulation number that points to 2025.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah. Here, let's just hear what Uncle Dumbass has to say. Hold on. We're going to switch the audio setting.
No doubt.
want to hear this bullshit ass song.
Yeah, that song could get you.
Yeah,
Mike can get the
I guess
clip.
we might
Yeah.
as well just absorb this moment in scripted history. The Hollywood actor out there for the political theater, painted orange at age 78, looking chumpish as always. Oh God, not this song. This song reminds me how cheesy this nation is. I'm proud to be an American. I mean, who's proud really? Who's proud to be an American? Nation where you're
Sure.
lied to and overtaxed, always bombing brown people based on some bullshit ass story the feds fed you. Yeah, we beat COVID thanks to the father of the jab. Here he is. Yeah, exactly. The whole purge thing in Trump. It's overdue.
Oh, so 56 in reverse is Trump
I
fans.
love how he has the 2288 up there by him all the time, too. We don't even recognize the little joke with that number. Add it together, it's 110 like President, 88 like Trump. Why the hell is he talking but the music's still on? God.
Wow.
Right now it's 2:28 East Coast time. When's he going to say his first words? United States of America is 2:28. Are we done yet? God.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Okay, 2:28, United States of America 2:28 is the morons chant USA. Here we go.
Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
From the golden arches to the golden man.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes, but it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that.
Chat, let me know. Do you guys want to listen to this shit? Because I honestly can't stand listening to this idiot. Drop a 1 if you want to listen to the Orange Clown. Drop a 2 if you want me to get back to the guests. Because, I mean, is there anything historic about listening to this dumbass say the same shit every night? God, I get tired of watching these frauds get away with this. I'm living in a nation of dopes. The 2s have it. We're done.
Hey,
We're done with the chump.
yeah, I feel
Fuck
it.
you, chump. We called it. You're a piece of shit. All right, let's get back to the man of the hour. Somebody I actually like
Yeah,
listening to talk to.
yeah. So I was just looking. So I was looking through
Oh, hold on. I
through
thought
some.
I muted this. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So I was just looking through the through some of the ciphers with Trump Vance 133, right? Which that has numerical significance on many different things. But one thing I found interesting was rigged election 133 in the I believe what was it, the English ordinal.
Just like
So
White House and government, I don't think I ever noticed that before. Rigged election. Yeah, look at that.
yeah,
133.
133.
It's always been this way. President 133, White House 133, government 133. Don't forget football's 133. And again, the Constitution from its birthday to the NFL's birthday is exactly 133 years. And that's also Patrick Mahomes' birthday, the NFL's birthday, the Constitution's birthday, September 17th. His little ritual last night, the man from White House, Texas, in the chump ritual. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how they structured this thing, man. Like through this numerology and through gematria is like they cover every aspect. That's one thing I'll give them. They cover almost damn near every aspect to it, man. And of course, with Trump will fix it, right? Well, because you see that Trump will fix it. Well, one of the ciphers come out to 77, and one of the phrases that that is associated with 77. Of course, you deal with Aleister Crowley's book 777, but also too Master Mason comes out to 77. So,
and well, the nation's capital's on the 77th meridian, secret society 77, the whole flight 77 thing on 9/11, supposedly hitting the Pentagon 77 minutes after taking off. United States equals 77. Yeah. By the way, I just want to point out, you guys, we talked about him coming out at 2:28 a.m. and starting to talk at that, or he came out at 2:25 but started to talk at 2:28. That's the 148th minute of the day, and that's what he's known for. Is that book, The Art of the Deal, 148. Donald J. Trump, 148. So the Trump starts speaking at the 148th minute of the day. It's all in the family, fraternal 148. It's God, I can't stand watching these people just getting away with. It's just, I mean, you guys, you think about how criminal this is. How much taxpayer money is wasted on these rigged selections? Like just billions upon billions of dollars just spent on this shit, and it's all a show that we have to pay for.
yeah, and you know what's so funny is that he did, Trump did what they said. Well, they had such a great time during that time period, right? Which on the outskirts it looked good, but didn't he cause a large inflation by the mass amount of money that he spent during 20 from 20?
Printing all
Huh?
that money. Printing all that money that they said they had to print because they needed the stimulus because of COVID, which was a big scam. Again,
Right.
Baker scam. Again, if you have your money in the right places, inflation can benefit you. But for the average person who doesn't have any money or assets, it just makes the cost of living way more expensive, and you're further down on the totem pole. So,
Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, Zach. Yeah, no, that's all I have, man. It's always good to see your breakdowns of this bullshit that we have to digest in this country. I mean, really all throughout the world. It's just a wicked ass world that we live in. Of course, they use the Babylonian religion as well as the the aspect of gematria. And it's they're getting decoded, and that's why they have to. And one thing I'm gonna end on this. One thing I think they're really realizing right now is that a lot of people are starting to wake up. But what they can do is they can do a controlled exposure, kind of very similar to how they're doing with P. Diddy and in the entertainment industry. Same thing with this, right? they're playing the Janus aspect, two sides of the different coin, but they're all part of the same coin. Two heads of the same dragon, two wings on the same fucking bird. And people still don't get it.
Absolutely. Double-headed eagle.
Yep. But yeah, man, salute to you, Zach, and salute to everybody in the chat.
Hey, thanks for coming on. You have a good night.
Likewise.
Take care. All right. My favorite person from India. What's up, D26?
I'm doing good. How are you? And it's late, but a happy Diwali and a happy Hindu New Year. It was quite late. Last time Diwali coincided on the Jesuit Superior General's birthday. This year, the Diwali was coinciding on 31st of October on Halloween. So I was at my native meeting my grandparents. I returned the night before yesterday. I returned quite late, so I couldn't call you. But I was waiting for the show to drop on 31st on Halloween on Netflix, and such a coincidence that I completed the show yesterday around midnight on 5th of November and 6th of November between. I think when you were live early in the morning. And this show is more or what I'm seeing this. What I feel is that this show is a very solid predictive programming, or it can be one. The show is called as The Diplomat on Netflix, and I would actually want everyone to watch it, but I'm going to spoil it. So sorry for anyone if anyone doesn't want spoilers, go watch the show. It's a good show. It's called The Diplomat on Netflix. So moving on, I'll just give a gist. There is this lady you can see in the front, played by Kerry Russell, and no, she's not related to Kurt Russell. I did check that. So the party, the politicians, the inner circle of what we say in the administration, they want her to become the vice president of the United States because the current vice president isn't fit for office. There's no health issues. It's just like some uh, political and technical administration issue. So they are trying to groom her into becoming the vice president. So just to test her into the waters, they make her as the U.S. ambassador to the UK, and she spends a few months over there. The people who are told to look after her, it's like she's just tested if she is she good for the job, and when she says that she's good for the job, and this is I'm talking about mostly about season 2, which is released again a few days ago on 31st, and at the end of the season 2, when near the climax, when she says that yeah she's ready to be the vice president, because initially she's the one who's there she says that I don't want this job, it's just because people are saying that and that's why I'm doing this. But when she says she's agreeing to that job, uh, there is some commotion in the administration, and some secrets are spoiled. I would say some secrets are leaked. In that turn of events, the president, who's a man, dies, and the vice president, the current vice president, who is a female, who to whom the lead actress was going to replace, that female vice president becomes the president, and her name in the show is Grace Penn, and that equals 47. And there are a lot of decodes. Because I lost the decode last night, so as soon as you went live, I said to you on the chat that I'll have my lunch and I will be very quick and I'll write the notes. And yeah, the lead actress, her name equals 47 in the show.
Look at what day it came out, April 20th, 2023, a date with 47 numerology and the 110th day of the year, like where president equals 110 and 47. That's Hitler's birthday as well.
I missed that when the season 1 came out. I was more focused on the recent season, which came out a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good insight. Well, we all know Trump equals 47. His middle name, John, equals 47. That's also the name of his uncle, by the way, John G. Trump. And uh, since she's the US ambassador to UK, that equals 47. And the actress, her name?
Real quick, have you seen the show House of Cards?
No, I haven't. That's why I feel that I need to watch.
I want to remind everybody that was the hit show on Netflix about the presidency the first time Trump was running. And again, he's Trump. The top cards in the tarot deck are Trump cards. Now he's won the 47th president-elect. Remember, the president in that show, his name is Francis, which equals 47, and his last name is Underwood, which equals 47, like Trump. And again, there's 78 cards in the tarot deck, and now it's all these years later when Trump's 78 years old. And again, tarot cards, just 119. Look again at Francis. Francis is 119. Underwood is 119. Trump's taking office with the 119th Congress as the 47th president-elect, at least for now. Again, this was all part of the Netflix series House of Cards, which is what our economy is right now. So anyhow, go ahead, D26. I wanted to remind people about just Netflix putting out shows synced up with what's going on. And way back then when that show was on, I was showing how what was happening in those episodes was becoming the news in real life. There's a Muslim ban that happens in that show. Trump did the Muslim ban when he was in office, banning all those Muslim nations from traveling to the U.S. And in 2018, when I was driving for Uber and Lyft, I actually got to meet a woman from Lebanon who was so upset about it because she wanted to go be with her family, but she couldn't even leave the country. So anyway, go ahead.
I haven't watched House of Cards, but it's the one with Kevin Spacey as the lead, right?
It's a very good, it's very well done, that show. To me, that's like one of the best shows I think I've ever seen, just the way it's done. So I think you would enjoy it as a film cinematography buff. Go ahead.
Is it the one with Kevin Spacey?
It is. It is.
Okay,
And
yeah,
Kevin
missed that,
Spacey.
yes.
Kevin Spacey was going through a legal battle for sexual assault while Kevin Spacey was 58 years old after Trump had won the 58th election. That was also part of the joke.
Talking about Trump, season 2 releases 139 days after Trump's birthday. Freemasonry equals 139, just like Freemasonry also equals 58, like his 58th election. And well, in the show, the actress who's playing the vice president, Allison Janney, her name equals 200. That's also the name of the president in the show. His name equals William Rayburn. That equals 200. So does heart failure, which is how he dies in the show. And the actress' names equal 78, just like Jesuit. And the show, as it's called, The Diplomat, is 3 out of 4 base ciphers matches with conspiracy. And all 3 words, conspiracy, The Diplomat, as well as Mark Randolph, that all 3 equals 123. Mark Randolph is the founder of Netflix, whose name equals 201. I think we discussed this few months back. As well as the actress, Kerry Russell, the lead actress, she is from Fountain Valley, California. Have you heard this place?
I'm
Fountain
not
Valley. Even not me until I saw this last night. That equals 201. Fountain Valley, California. And it says it's a city within a county. I don't know the difference between county and a city in America because we don't have counties in India. So it says on Wikipedia that Fountain Valley was a suburban city incorporated in the Orange County of California on June 13th, 1957. So the name equals 201, and it was the municipality of that area was incorporated on June 13th, the day leaving 201 is.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Yeah, even I was like, I was shocked with that kind of thing.
By the way, for just to keep up also with the current event going on, I mean, you guys, just what a joke it is. Like Dana White to be up on the stage talking about this. there's nothing good about UFC. UFC is not good for society, and it's also rigged, by the way, just like the rest of the world of pro sports is. But trust me, UFC is not good for society. When I lived downtown Seattle, the night that it looked like it was the end of the world there was the night that they had a UFC fight at Key Arena. I lived downtown Seattle for almost a decade. There was only one UFC fight they ever had in that building the time I was there. You should have seen how crazy it got. Just people just fighting all over the street, breaking property, smashing windows. I was like, God, this is crazy. UFC comes down here and it's just like chaos and destruction and violence and property damage. Again, just like Trump's not good, UFC's not good. And Dana White and Joe Rogan, again, you guys, the first ever UFC match that Joe Rogan ever worked was UFC 12. And just look at UFC and Joe, you guys. I mean, just all of this shit is totally rigged. You learn this cobble, and who runs the UFC anyway? It's not even really Dana White. It's what's the Jew from Chicago's brother? That's who runs the UFC. Can't even think of his name. Democrat, the one with bigger eyebrows than me. I can't think of him. Anyway, go ahead, D26.
All right. So since you said Dana White equals 158, just like Freemasonry.
Perfect.
And 150, 158, that's also the date of the Jesuit's birthday, 15/8.
Correct.
And Donald J. Trump, if you write his full name, that equals 185. The show was released 185 days after the Netflix founder's birthday on 29th of April. And Donald Trump's full name, Donald John Trump, also equals 76. That's the difference between the election date and the inauguration date. 76 days. And there are a few more decodes that I must be missing. I don't remember, but not at the moment. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show, because as soon as the show ended, and I think you went live, so it was kind of like a very weird coincidence that, okay, that might be the one thing that we must be discussing, that even after Trump will be winning, there is still 76 days of difference where something can happen to Mr. Biden, and Trump will not become the 47th but the 48th. So that is still a possibility. That's what I wanted to share when it comes to that show, because both the shows are really good. As I said, I think everyone should watch that, because it does keep you it gives you very good, it leaves you at a very good cliffhanger on both the seasons. So yeah, that's what I would recommend.
All right, I'm gonna check it out when I get the time, if I have time anymore. We got the little one coming in days, but appreciate it.
A few days.
Yeah, November
Probably
9th. We'll see if that's when they come. Sweet lady thinks it's going to be 11/11. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I would wish it's 11/11. That's a good date. Well, congratulations. We will communicate soon whenever you get time, and all the best, because that's a new journey, a new phase of your life.
All right, I appreciate that, D26. Always good to hear from you. You have a good. Well, what time is it over there right now?
It's 1:20 on the afternoon.
Oh, okay. You're midday. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Have a good night.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. We got JJ in the back. What's up, JJ? Thank you for your patience.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Zach. I just want to be quick. So I measured from the release date of the Manchurian Candidate novel, which is April 27th, 1959. So from Trump's birthday to that date is exactly 4,700 days.
You mean from the day he was born in 1946 on June 14th?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, you guys, you know why that's so interesting? Because that movie had to do with like the CIA and mind control, and the CIA was established in 47. And seriously, I mean, to be a Trump guy, you got to be under some kind of mind control to like this man. This man is a scumbag piece of shit who turned this nation into something that looked absolutely the opposite of America. He hates the First Amendment. He hates the Second Amendment. He sold us out to the Switzerland bankers. again, this is no endorsement of the Democratic Party. It's that the federal government needs to be burned to the ground. And this guy's a prime example of why. Yet you have all these yoo-hoo brain dead morons that think this guy's some kind of hero. And for all you Christians out there that think he's the man, this guy runs on the highest degree of the Church of Satan, and he's mocking your ass, selling you a Bible by the numbers. That's a good find that it's exactly 4,700 days from the day he was born. I know that's not an accident.
And April 27th is also the 117th day, tied to Central Intelligence.
CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, 117. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they released that.
And Robert Kennedy, his buddy's born on January 17th. Yeah, it's all making way too much sense.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy decode. I just figured it out a couple weeks ago, but I'm sharing it today.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, excellent decode. Great thinking.
All right.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
A million percent A+, triple A+. All right, JJ, thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. See you.
Between him and D26, they got that super chilled out, relaxed energy. I'm never that way. I'm all stress over here. I haven't taken a day off for over 11 years. What's up, John Tennant? The CIA's in the building. John Tennant. Starting to worry this one of these trolls is gonna. Are you there? No, we're not gonna do it. Again, you guys, we've had too many weird. It's happened 2 times. It could happen. Actually, we've been hacked with porn before. That hasn't happened since the Nipsey Hussle days. But twice we've had guys get on here and like not say anything like that in the back room, and then all of a sudden their camera comes on and just pointed at their little pecker, and it's like, come on, like how big of a weirdo are you? And they're just trying to get the stream taken down. I have a feeling that guy was going to do the same shit. We got Eric Bradford in the room. What's up, Eric?
Yeah.
I felt that guy was gonna do the same shit.
Yo, Zach, can you hear me?
You got to mute your video.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I remember, I think it was in 2020 or 2021, right when Trump lost to Biden, right? You made a video about a demolition of like some Trump hotels. It was casinos, yeah. From what I remember, that was the very first like clue.
Hold up. Hey, nice to see your face, Mr. Moon Phases. It's you, isn't
What's
it?
up, man? Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's
I
me,
recognize
man.
that voice anywhere. I never seen your face. All right, but yeah, that was a big sign. Go ahead. I know what you're talking about.
No, but I remember it was on a day with 48 and 60 numerology, I believe. I can't remember the exact day, but I believe it was on a day with 48 and 60 numerology. And when you jumped on, you was like, okay, well, this could be a sign that Trump might, come back. And I think this was like way before the Grover Cleveland, parts of the decode actually really came into play. I think that was like
Trump and Grover Cleveland since he had his convention there, because they're both overweight and they both got the mail order bride wives. But then it started to be like, oh yeah, this is making more sense. I'm trying to find that poster where they demolished his towers. Shoot.
I remember it was on a day with 60 and 48 numerology, and the first thing you brought up was like, okay, well, the next presidential election will be the 60th, and the 48, so everything just kind of like lined up, man. So that's pretty much all the only observation I had for the night, man, just to like draw back on that previous decode that you did a few years back.
Yep, that was a major clue that he was very well coming back. And I'm trying to it was on the 48th day of the year, 2021. Here, I found the post. And President's Day, you guys, is going to be on this same day this year, upcoming 2025. Donald Trump's Atlantic City casino implodes, Mar-a-Lago helipad demolished. And yeah, 60-date numerology on the 48th day of the year. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. That was the clue. That was the clue right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had, man. I just wanted to chime that in real quick.
That building was erected in 84.
Oh, we know about that number.
Yeah. 84.
That's that Eric. That's that Eric Blair number. That's that Eric Blair number.
Straight George Orwell, right?
Oh well, yes, sir.
All right, man.
All
Well,
right,
hey,
man.
it's good to see a face after all the. I've heard your voice for like how long now? Probably close to 8 years, but never seen the face.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
All right. Good talking to you, man. Thank you.
All right, take it easy.
You have a good night. All right. What's up, R?
What up? What up? You know how to come in and give you your flowers, man. Caught this shit in the beginning of the year.
Well,
And,
longer ago than that. We've been talking about this for years.
Oh yeah, 4 years.
Talking
Yeah,
about this. It's like what he's saying. This 2021 thing.
I just y'all. It's like a lot of people in here. By the way, hit that like button, y'all. By the way, it helps him get out. The algorithm's been helping Zach, get more views because we've been liking up. So hopefully y'all can hit that like button. But again, this is proof is in the pudding. Like all the trolls, all these other videos, it's nonsense. It's literally nonsense. This dude's calling it play by play.
Since the first video I ever put out was a correct prediction. That was over 11 years ago. It's been, again, you guys, where is your argument about what I'm showing you about how sports are rigged, politics is rigged, it's the same Jesuit Masonic cabal doing it all? Where is your argument? You don't have one. Come on here and bring it on and watch how hard it gets smoked. Try it.
Yeah, I don't. Like I'm a believer. I don't care, bro. I go to bat for you any day, man. It's just he helps everyone out. He helps people. He puts money in people's pockets. He keeps everyone informed. Like I don't know, man. But again, I'm just coming on here just to give you your flowers, dog. I don't really got nothing except I still is winning the Super Bowl, but
There we go. Yeah, that's the only thing that would make him happier than this.
Honestly, no, you call this. So I think the 3-peat tap. Oh, yeah, it's pretty obvious, but yeah, you gotta call that too. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say, bro. I'm just shocked, bro. And I think what his other prediction was gonna probably come true. I think old man's gonna croak, and then she's gonna become the president for this little term, and then that's it. Like that's gonna all the you know what I mean? I think it's gonna kind of like. What do you think in the next? Well, like probably 47 days? No, it's more than.
Well, it's Scorpio time, man. That scorpion sting might come sooner than people think. So,
and he hasn't really even been in the media at all since like what? He's been like 3 weeks since he said something or something, But anyways, yeah, man, this dude's a goat. All you fucking chills, all you fucking whatever the fuck y'all want to call yourselves, trolls, nigga, y'all weird. Like you guys are literally weird. But yeah, all right, Zach, man, I'm out of here.
All right, man. You have a good night. Thanks, R. All right, we got James Ricketts up next. What's up, James?
People are fucking retarded.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for playing me saying that. I'll stand by that statement. Thank you. John Tennant's back. John Tennant, you better not put your little pecker on the screen. I'm going to give you one more chance.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Never mind. You're not a troll.
Yeah, I'm not CIA, bro. I literally comment on your channel all the time.
Okay, all right. I just had so many trolls in their little gross things they've done.
Yeah, I understand.
was worried about the silence. I was like, uh-oh, he's like pulling his pants down or something. All right, never mind. You're forgiven. What's up, John Tennant?
Yeah. I just had a decode. So, dude, it's a massive ritual going on with these next 2 Avengers movies that's about to come out. So, first of all, the last 2 Avengers movies came out when Trump was in office. Avengers Infinity War, which was the 3rd film, came out in 2018. And then in 2019, you had Avengers Endgame. First of all, there's like this meme online because in that movie, Captain America, he becomes old at the end of the movie. And people are talking about, wow, that looks like Joe Biden. And then, of course, Joe Biden became president next year. You got to search it up, by the way. Just search up old Captain America Endgame or Avengers Endgame after, and then you'll see the picture. Like, he looks just like Joe Biden. It's like crazy. And obviously you got that new Captain America movie that comes out in February where Harrison Ford plays the president of the United States. And in the trailer, he's literally about to get assassinated. And that trailer came out like a few days before the Trump assassination happened in July.
Look, I'm just going to say this, you guys, with all this 80 stuff that they've put on this with Trump and Grover Cleveland, here, it could happen to Trump at 80 because remember, Trump's in the Illuminati card game with the enough is enough card, and enough is enough equals 78, like how old Trump is when he takes office. Enough is enough, 78. Notice how Bavarian Illuminati is 80, just like Grover Cleveland, the other split-term president, is 80. So does something happen to Trump when he's 80? Like with all this foreshadowing during the selection?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Hey, leave that calculator up on your screen because I wanted you to look at something. So these next 2 Avengers movies, they announced them at San Diego Comic-Con this year. And so Avengers 5 is going to be called Avengers Doomsday. And I noticed something interesting. So Avengers Doomsday equals 187 in ordinal, just like George Washington equals 187 in ordinal. And then it also equals 245, just like George Washington equals 245 in reverse. So I don't know. I don't really know what that means, but I mean, I just thought that was interesting.
George Washington got taken out by the Jesuit priest on December 14th. So
yeah, and by the way, it's called Doomsday because the villain in the movie is Doctor Doom, and it's going to be played by Robert Downey Jr. And Robert Downey Jr. just put out an ad promoting the Kamala Harris campaign with all the Avengers actors.
Look at what day it comes out. It comes out on the Illuminati's birthday. That'll be right before Trump turns 80. Trump will turn 80, 44 days later, the old shooting number?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I don't know when Avengers Secret Wars comes out, which is the 6th Avengers movie, if you want to search that up. But it comes out in May as well of 2027. I just don't know the day. So, yeah, if you want to search Avengers Secret Wars, I don't know where. I think it's like May 2nd or something like that. Usually the Avengers movies comes out in either April or May. I'm just basing that off the previous release dates because they literally were all either April or May. So, but yeah, massive ritual. The last 2 Avengers movies are one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Avengers Infinity War made $2 billion. Avengers Endgame made $2.9 billion. So
I just got to remind people that all this stuff's connected. That Captain America Civil War movie came out
in 2016, the election year.
Right. And then it was like 56 months before January 6th when Civil War equals 56, like Washington, D.C.
I think it came out May 6th.
There was some big 56 ritual with that. And then
it came out May 6th, I believe, because I still remember those ads. Because I remember watching the ads when the movie was coming out. I believe it came. If you search Captain America Civil War release date, I believe it was May 6th. So 56. There you go. Yeah. And it came out in an election year.
That would make sense because it was exactly 56 months. So January 6th. So it makes sense if it came out on the 6th. Yeah. Sounds right.
And then this 4th Captain America movie coming out in February. Like I said, Harrison Ford plays the president who, by the way, he endorsed Kamala Harris as well. Super hilarious. And then he literally is about to get assassinated in the trailer. Like, come on. And that comes out like a few days before the actual Trump assassination. Yeah, it's just crazy. So, yeah, I guarantee you it's going to be a massive ritual with these Avengers movies. They're all basically are like end times prophecy, like these huge, big, epic battles with gods and stuff like Thor and stuff like that. Like, it's basically the book of Revelation, but just told with like superheroes. That's basically what it is. Like, if you just really look at it like that. So,
Indeed.
But yeah, I'm not a troll, Zach. I'm not a troll. I want to say congrats on you having your kid, man. Hope you have a blessed rest of your night. And are you going to teach your kid gematria? I wanted to ask you that. Are you going to teach him it, or are you going to leave that kind of hidden from him?
Well, I mean, when the time is right, that's a ways away.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I don't want to teach it to him just yet.
Yeah. I'm hoping I can teach him how to sleep through the night so I can get some sleep. We'll see.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I had, Zach, man. Thanks for taking my call. Not no CIA, not no troll, just a regular viewer. So yeah, I appreciate your streams, and I love the streams where people can call in. So I always like it when you leave the link open so people can get their thoughts. You get a lot of good callers. Obviously, you get some trolls too, but
Yeah. Speaking of coming up next. All right, man. Appreciate it, Mr. Tennant.
Yep, no problem, man. Thank you.
You have a good night. All right. I think tonight's the night he's going to call in and apologize. Because how could he deny the work now after we nail another prediction? I mean, come on, man. We're just stacking them up here. World Series, called this election years in advance. I mean, come on.
Hey, what's good, Quackery? Yeah, saying both things doesn't count as making a prediction. You said both fucking things. You lie and you show you.
No. Again, I've been saying Trump's going to come back as Grover Cleveland since 2021. Since they did Kamala, I said they've made it a little cloudier and harder to tell. But I've continually said, but usually the first thought's the best one. And this is reminding me of what happened to me in 2016. So again, haters are going to hate. Again, enjoy that minimum wage lifestyle, pumping gas at the gas station. Being a hater's not helping you. Work on your skills. Find something better to do with your life. What's up, Joey?
Yo.
Yeah,
so of course, Cleveland is the 216 area code. And Kamala she has this connection to the Black Panther Party through her father, and that she's from Oakland. So the Panthers, they got their 216th all-time win this past Sunday.
Oh, and that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. And again, that Black Panther movie came out on 2/16, and Bryce Young earlier this year fell to 2-16, and then he got benched, and then he came back and got the 216th franchise win. Good one.
Yeah. Then he became 2-17 against Denver. And of course, Huey P. Newton's full name is 217.
His
and
birthday is February 17th.
Yeah. His name corresponds with his birthday. I mean, just undeniable things. But with the Panthers' 216th win, they also became 2-7-0 for the season, like 270. Like, that's how many electoral votes you need to win the election. So when I seen the Panthers do a Cleveland ritual, days before the election, I was like, yeah, I think Trump's gonna win. And we've been on that the whole time, like Trump. But then and then of course you had the Florida Panthers. They won the Stanley Cup, and they represent the Miami area, and Mar-a-Lago's like in South Florida near Miami.
Well, let's remind people what they did with that. They're right next to Parkland, Florida, where the shooting happened on 2/14, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Like, JFK was killed and died at Parkland Hospital in the 214 area code. And the NBA finals were going on at that time between Boston and Dallas, when JFK used to be mayor in Boston, and they paid all kinds of tributes to the Kennedys, including the finals starting on the anniversary of RFK dying. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's just super undeniable. And of course, Cleveland was number 22 and 24. And if you add up 22 plus 24 plus 47, like he won 47th president-elect, and then plus 45. So 45, 47, 22, 24. That sums to 138. And of course, that's the big Donald Trump number. So that just shows you how on point they have this. They made it so that Trump's two numbers would make it just 138.
All right. Well, great observations. Our number one Panthers fan. Yeah, I think you're right on the money with this one. Appreciate it, Joey. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Peace.
Have a good night. Let's go out to Clint Burton.
Hey, right. I wanted to see, can you add your book on the audio, like Audible?
You mean making an audio book?
Yeah.
There's a woman. She's got a channel called Gnostic Knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Vanessa. If you find her channel, whoa, hold on. Why is her channel not? They didn't take down her channel, did they? What? Whoa. Wow, that's messed up. Man, she read both of my books all the way through. They were like audio books.
Yeah.
I got to reach out to Vanessa and see if and I never backed up her videos, but I hope to God because it took a long time. My books are long. One's 800 pages and the other's 400 pages. That wasn't just no easy work to read out those entire books. But I'm realizing her whole channel is gone.
Yeah, I'll be at work listening to the Secret Teachers of All Ages book. I love it. It's real insightful, and they do talk about gematria. Yeah, I was just thinking like, shoot, if I could get that too, and I got a hard copy as well, but the Audible will help.
Yeah, I would. Well, God, that was the closest thing I can't believe that her whole channel got taken down. That was recent because the last time I checked, it was there. But yeah, I'll think about that. It's just there just ain't enough hours in the day, so I'm gonna have to find somebody else who can read the whole book. But I appreciate that thought.
And another thing was, damn, you really got haters.
What's that?
You really got haters.
Oh yeah, I've always had super haters. That's what happens when you do unprecedented shit, man.
Yeah.
People are trying to deter people from looking into what we're talking about. So
Yeah. And then but like in a duality of everything, why people be so mad that you show both sides of the story and hey, at the end of the day, you right either way it goes. Like why people be mad at that? And it's 2 times the whole story.
yeah. And again, it's just like the troll just tried to come on. It's like, dude, please. I've been here since 2021 saying over and over why Trump was going to become Grover Cleveland with a split term in 2024. The things they did and with Kamala did complicate it. And I just said, okay, I'm a little bit conflicted right now. But we came on this morning before and I put up the video of like, okay, based on what they did in the sports games last night, it looks like it's just like we thought. Donald Trump, Grover Cleveland.
Right. And then Camilla thing about her being born on old president birthday and stuff like that, and prophecy George Ford said that's the other side. That's how like she could have been president. Like, what's the problem with saying both sides of the story? That's what I'm trying to get. Like, what? I don't know. I don't understand people, man. For real. But great work as always. I didn't really want much, but to just call and ask about the book.
People are saying in the chat it's still there. Hold up. Okay, I found it through just doing a Google web search. All right, her channel is still up. Okay, this is good. I was worried that they took down her damn channel. All right, here. I'm gonna link this channel. You're in here. Do you know how to get the private chat? And can you see where it says private chat? I just dropped the link in the private chat for Vanessa's channel. That's the closest to an audio book because she did read both my books all the way through. And I'm gonna drop it in the main chat too for anybody who wants to check out Vanessa's channel. Give her a sub. Again, she read all of my books all the way through.
So I'm in there.
All right. Well, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Clint. Thank you.
Have a good night.
I don't know why they're making it so hard for her channel to come up. I mean, I just searched Gnostic knowledge and it was not there. Normally, it just pops right up. We got D26 back on. I'm gonna let Jonathan on, and then I'm gonna come back to you, D26. What's up, Jonathan?
Sports Gematria is the GOAT, baby.
It's another troll. Yeah, isn't it like all these people that come on and promote the troll? Again, just the constant troll network of yeah. What's funny is my main troll used to be a commenter, like starting in 2015, and he was always making false predictions about his favorite sports team. Poor guy. I think he got butthurt when I showed how again, you guys don't know, USA Today wrote their hit piece on me in January 2016. We've done it 1,000 times, but they brought attention to the fact that I'd called the Super Bowl dead on in week 3 and who'd be the MVP of the game and why there'd be a Black Panther tribute at it. That was way back in Super Bowl 50. I said in week 3 why Manning would beat the Carolina Panthers in his last season, his 18th season, wearing 18 with the Broncos. Why the Broncos would beat the Panthers, why Von Miller would be the MVP, and why there'd be a Black Panther tribute at the game. All 3 of those things happened. USA Today decided to take some shots. My main troll is a big Carolina Panthers fan, and somehow I think all those things are connected. Anyway, what's up, D26?
Well, I was about to leave, and that guy, I think his name was John, he brought up the Avengers, and I was like, oh yeah, I should come in and probably give some insight about the upcoming movies because I'm a Marvel fan, regardless. I've been watching the movie since I was 10 years old, I guess, when the first Iron Man movie came out. So anyways, I think if I never had this small decode about just around the time when the Trump got shot at in July.
Not really. The time he didn't, but that's what they said happened. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know. We get that, yes. But that news came out in mid-July, I guess. I think on the day of the French national holiday. So Captain America's Brave New World, the upcoming movie in February, that movie's teaser trailer launched on 12th of July, and 2 days later, Trump gets attacked. Now, why was it important? Because in the teaser trailer, Harrison Ford is playing the president after many years, of course, and he gets attacked in the trailer at 44 seconds. He gets shot at 0.44 seconds mark of the trailer, and 2 days later we get the news of Trump getting attacked. And why is it also necessary with Harrison Ford? Um, with his character, not more than the actor, the character is more important with the Marvel movies. Uh, the upcoming movie is going to be the 35th movie, which is coming next year on February. I think the date is February 14th, 2025. And the character that Harrison Ford is playing, Thunderbolt Ross, he becomes the Red Hulk in the comics, and that's what we also got. We get at the end of the teaser of the trailer. We get the At the end of the trailer, we see uh, Thunderbolt Ross, as in Harrison Ford becoming the Red Hulk. And I think I mentioned this very long ago, probably last year, when the movie was. I think they announced the cast or something, because the original actor of who was playing the Red Hulk, he passed away. I think his name was William Hurt. He passed away last year, I guess, in early 2023, and he was replaced by Harrison Ford. That's when I made this tweet about maybe we can see that Donald Trump will be back in office when this movie gets released, because the president is a Red Hulk, red as in the Republican Party as the red color, and that was more or less, and there is the Avengers equals 56, and Trump calls his party as the Avengers, party members as the Avengers. I did see some reel or YouTube short where he mentioned that, and that's more or less. But regarding what we mentioned about with the gentleman about May 6th, I did also verify on the chat, because I remember all the dates when it comes to movies, especially Marvel movies. And you were correct. May 6th is the day when the Civil War movie came out, 2016, and Doctor Strange movie came out on May 6th, 2022. And Doctor Strange movie had this uh, mentioning about the Illuminati, and that's a team of few superheroes in a different alternate universe where Doctor Strange visits them. So, and also regarding the upcoming Avengers movie, I would more or less those dates either will change or they might just prepone it few days. That's what happened with the previous two Avengers movies, and that's more or less likely the chances with the upcoming two movies, because they have the same writers, the same directors, and the same cast plus even more cast members. Robert Downey Jr. is returning. He died as Iron Man, but he will return as Doctor Doom, which is interesting in comics. But I have a lot of decodes. Sadly, I'm not finding the decode which I made back in July. But yeah, that was the day. That was the main important correlation that I wanted to share regarding the upcoming Captain America movie's teaser trailer showing president being shot at the 0:44 mark, and 2 days later, Trump getting shot at in a rally. And I hope this was not more confusing with the movies, but so, my apologies if that was.
No,
But I
not
will
confused
probably
at all. Very interesting. And again, just predictive programming, Hollywood, tightly connected. The people who run Hollywood are the same people that run pretty much everything else. The mind controllers.
and
So
regarding this movie was titles the this movie's title was changed, and I think you did decode the previous title. That movie was the upcoming movie was titled as Captain America: New World Order, and that got it got the title was changed because they changed the story. I think 4 or 5 times they changed the entire script, and initially there was supposed to be a subplot of the Serpent Society in the movie, which I think it's not. We're still not sure is the Serpent Society still going to be in the movie or not, because there are rumors that that subplot got removed. That's why they changed from New World Order to Brave New World, and they also got Giancarlo Esposito, the actor, if you know.
so they changed it from New World Order to Brave New World.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting because Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World, and he died the same day that JFK was assassinated, and they've been doing all this parallels with Trump and the Kennedys, and again, Trump and the snake, and next year's the snake year, and serpent, snake.
The actor who was supposed to be.
They might have changed it because they know people are catching on to their little tricks, and they might be like, this is all too obvious. We got to switch this up a little bit.
Now, I don't know the pop culture reference to this because I don't watch UFC fights and most things. So, have you heard about the guy named Seth Rollins? He's in WWE.
Yeah.
He was casted as the undisclosed role, and his costume from the leaked photos of the set resemble that he's the member of the Serpent Society. So if you can make some correlation with the Serpent Society and Seth Rollins, maybe that would help you with that, because I don't, as I said, I don't watch WWE much.
I don't watch it either, but I know who he is.
Yeah, I don't even know. My friends were like, you don't know that guy? I'm like, I don't know that guy. So other than that, this movie is also the continuation of the Marvel's show that came in March 2021 called as The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And that series' first episode was called New World Order. And that was released on 19th of March 2021, 58 days from the inauguration date. And if there is something, I will probably show up. We have got recently, I think a week or 2 weeks before the Halloween, in the recent most show of Marvel, they confirmed, they basically mentioned the devil of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His name is Mephisto, and there are rumors about Sacha Baron Cohen will probably play the devil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe next year.
Well, that's
so I don't know.
That's just perfect. Sacha Baron
Can
Cohen.
you help me with that,
ADL.
Sacha Baron?
Yeah, the ADL paid that guy years ago to go on a stage and say that the internet needs to be censored more. And it's like, dude, come on, man. You climbed the ladder doing this like shock humor that a lot of people thought was awful and evil. And you're the guy that the ADL hires to go and say the internet needs to be censored. I mean, please.
So yeah, there is a lot of hype about him becoming. I have no interest in that guy, but yeah, they are making that hype up about the character as Mephisto. He's the, as we say, that's the devil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and there are high rumors about him making his debut finally after 4 years in the next year in a series called as Iron Heart. It has nothing to do with Mephisto. It's just that the villain is supposed to be some magical or visitous kind of a guy who was going to kind of ask some offering from the devil. That's why they are just going to have that. Not sure, maybe. But regarding anything else when it comes to Marvel movies, there are a lot. I just can't. As I said, I don't have my notes, so I won't take much time. So thank you for having me twice. And there are other things that I want to talk to, but I will probably call you whenever. That's
Well,
a
hey,
better.
it's good to hear
Not on
from
the
you
stream.
twice. It's always good to hear from D26.
Thank
All right,
you
friend.
for having me.
Appreciate it.
You too.
All right, take care. Someday we're going to bring D26 to the U.S. to be a Gematria Effect News full-time employee. I've been talking about the Grover Cleveland thing since forever. This post I wrote down probably just after months of communicating this. I finally put in post form, and you can see what day this is dated. This post right here dated February 4th, 2022. So what's that? 2 years, 9 months ago? 33 months ago. How about that? But isn't it funny? I mean, just focusing especially on the 48 thing, and then you see what happens. You see and again, we've always talked about scripted sports, scripted politics. I mean, it's been a huge theme. Literally the night before the selection, and what we covered this morning in the video, saying it looks like it's in the bag for Trump. Again, this post up in this morning. Do the November 4, 2024 rituals with the Cleveland Cavaliers and Kansas City Chiefs signal the rigged selection is in the bag for Donald Trump, the next Grover Cleveland? Again, best start in 48 years for the Cavs. Trump had his convention in 2016 in their stadium. Cleveland and Donald Trump 48, Grover Cleveland 80. The Commander-in-Chiefs playing on Monday Night Football in the 138th game of the season, 48 days after Mahomes' birthday, as his mom endorses Trump before the game, and then it goes to overtime. 24-24. We said last night the score of the Cavs winning with 116 signaled they'd call the election for Trump on November 6th in overtime. What they did, I mean, it's just, again, you guys. So, yeah, and we've been talking about this stuff for longer than this, but this post right here has been up on my website for literally 33 months. How about that? I'm in the club now. But yeah, just pointing out all the same shit because it is always the same shit. So these people are super redundant. Talking about this same stuff since forever. I mean, here, go to my super old website and search Grover Cleveland, Trump. I've been talking about this stuff forever. Grover Cleveland and Trump. This post is from 2016, November 9th, the day that they called it for him. And talking about why the count is off. Look right in that post. Just talking about House of Cards, Underwood, President 47. Now here we are all these years later. Now he's the 47th president-elect in tribute to House of Cards. Trump card 114, like President of the United States, like how they just did Prince's sister dirty on November 4th, who's from the 114 city, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The night before Sunday Night Football was a tribute to Prince. He performed at Super Bowl 41 with the Colts. He's from Minnesota. They hold Joe Flacco to 114 wins. Prince's sister's dead, just like Prince was dead for the 58th election. And the son, President Nelson, is announcing the death. I mean, come on, man. You don't think this shit was planned out a long time ago? All this stuff. I remember just talking about this like it was yesterday in 2015 when they had to tell you Trump was the 133rd richest man in the nation, and Fox News made a big-ass deal about his 133rd appearance on Fox. Just, oh, my God. President, White House, government. I mean, come on. 84 PA and Trump's return to Butler, the town named after Grover Cleveland. Here. One more chance for the troll since he wanted to hop. He's like, D26 got a second shot. I want a second shot. Okay, cuts. Have I not been talking? You've been trolling me for all these years. Have I not for all these years been saying Trump's coming back as Grover Cleveland? And did I not call that Biden would pass the torch to Kamala when he was 81 and she was 59, just like I said it'd be sometime after June 2024? I mean, did I not call all these things years in advance? One more chance, cuts. Did I not call all these things years in advance? I'll take the silence as a yes. All right, thank you. That's the best you've ever done. What's up, Truth Does Not Exist?
Hey, Zach, what's up? I see a CNN. They still haven't updated it. They're saying that Trump is at 266 electoral votes, and it's been stuck that way for a while.
Salvatore in the time of the 266th Pope.
Yeah.
Oh, that would really piss off Mega if somehow, some way, it's like 2000 and all of a sudden Kamala's the winner. Hold on. CNN. So have they not given it Pennsylvania? Or no, they did give Pennsylvania to Trump. I see they didn't call these other states. What are they saying?
You click on president, it says 266. Let's see if they change that. It's still 266. So yeah, it's been stuck there for the whole day. I mean, not the whole day, for the past few hours.
Which was the day of the shooting. He's plus 71, like Kamala Debbie Harris is 71. Okay, yeah.
And it's saying she's at 47% right now of the popular vote. Yeah.
Okay. Again, you guys, 266. We're in the time of the 266th Pope when he spoke in D.C., did on the 266th day of the year. Jesuit motto, Isus Omnum Salvator, 266. Pope Francis equals 122 like the motto. 274 is the year the Catholic Church began celebrating the Son's birthday on 1225 AD. 46 years later, in 320s, when they began celebrating Jesus, the Son of God's birthday on that day. And notice how Catholics 46, it's also 35, like 1225 has a square root of 35. And then, again, also the 85, like if you look at the Jesuit Orders logo, it's the sun with the letters IHS for Isus Omnum Salvator. and the Templar cross and Templars 85. And that's why we started the Crusades in Afghanistan on the day leaving 85 days left in the year, which is the same day the Crusades in Gaza began with Israel. So anyway, what else is going on?
So, did you see the whole Peanut the squirrel thing going on?
I heard about it, but I didn't look into it.
It absolutely, like, just completely blew up. It's this fake story where the New York police department that they went in and broke into this guy's house and took his squirrel and raccoon and euthanized them. And Joe Rogan was talking about it. Trump talked about it. It's just been everywhere. And I looked into the story. The name, so they took a raccoon. Raccoon equals 33. And the raccoon's name was Fred, which is also 33. Squirrel equals 47 and 52, just like president. And the owner's name is Mark Longo, which is 47 also. Also, of course, police is 33 too. It was supposedly the police that did it.
Interesting.
And also, did you next year, 2025? It's the Catholic Jubilee year.
Catholic Jubilee year. Jubilee years are every 50 years. So what do we mean as the Catholic Jubilee year?
They're celebrating their 25th Jubilee year, and they created a mascot for it called Lucy, Luce. And the creator of it, his name is 56. His name is Simone Legno, which is 56. It's if you want to look it up, it's called the name is Lucy, Luce. Kind of like Lucifer. So this like mascot, they're gonna reveal it in Osaka, Japan, which equals 26. It's gonna happen in 2026. I think the motto or something for that Jubilee year is "Beauty brings hope," which is 187. So it's like a completely coded thing. Also, the creator of the mascot, his Simone Legno, they said that he's an LGBT person. LGBT and Lucy both match in 3 of the 4 ciphers.
Okay.
But yeah, totally fake story. But yeah, that's also I was looking up. I'm gonna put this in a video. But I was looking at the Jesuits website. I think it was Georgetown, and inside that they said that all of the everybody that goes to their school, most of them become priests. Like most of the students are become priests. And it also said that when you go to school, you're like inducted, like you become a Jesuit by going to the Jesuit school.
Okay.
And that's on their own website. But yeah, that's all I had for today. RPM Trey gave me this shirt. It's like I got the sleeves off, so I got the sleeveless RPM shirt. So
all right,
it was cool seeing him. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get off.
All right, man. Take care.
All right.
All right. So yeah, CNN slow to call it, keeping it at the old symbolic 266 to remind you who runs the show, and just him again, just being this count right now 195 to 266. 266 is Jesuits. He's plus 71. Catholic 71, like the war in Israel, which is a Jesuit-run nation. Started on Putin's 71st birthday, 71 days from the Pope's birthday. That Rothschild on the Balfour Declaration got taken out in a 201 ritual. This year they got rid of the Rothschild 71 days after the Pope's 87th birthday at age 87. Again, all you guys who think the Rothschilds who run the world, you need to evolve your thinking and stop listening to all the fake conspiracy channels. The Rothschilds are a puppet family. They don't run shit. Look up real families that run the world like the Orsinis. And again, understand, it's the Jesuits who gave you the calendar, the language. It's why their architecture's all over the capital city. It's why the first recognized president in U.S. history, George Washington, took office right after Georgetown was established by the Jesuits. Again, it's why they moved the capital to their stronghold, which is D.C. It's why they moved Inauguration Day to the 201st day of the nation's age, because it's their number. Again, the Jesuits have been the 201 gang from the beginning. What is 201? In Hebrew, it represents illumination, just like how it's coded into the Illuminati. And again, the Illuminati was founded by a Jesuit who was a Jew whose parents died when he was a little kid, and he was raised by a prominent Jesuit priest. And again, if you don't know the Jesuit history, they came about because of Martin Luther, who led the Protestant Reformation against the Catholic Church, but also against Judaism. He said there cannot be civil society with the existence of the Catholic Church or the Jews. And again, it bred a Catholic-Jewish alliance, which are the Jesuits. But when people go around blaming the small caps, it's not right. You got to look into who's really running the show. It's the Jesuits, and people of all religions are involved in the Jesuit cabal, and Chump's one of them. So anyhow, it's late. If we don't have anybody else who wants to participate, I'll drop the link one more time. We'll wrap this thing up. If we wake up in the morning and all of a sudden Kamala's won, and it's the Bill Maher prediction. Again, Bill Maher works on Jesuit-run HBO. Yes, HBO, founded by a Jesuit. Bill Maher said after January 6th, which was a 201 ritual in itself. Remember, that happened 201 days after the only Confederate statue in D.C. fell. The one of Albert Pike, which fell on Juneteenth, a year to the day of them making Juneteenth the holiday. But yeah, and remember, why did the Confederate statue fall on June 19th, 201 days before January 6th? Because of the George Perry Floyd riots. George Perry Floyd, 201, whose death was championed in Europe alongside the name of Dama Traore, who was killed on the 201st day of the year, exactly 201 weeks before George Floyd. And remember, George Floyd's killing was supposedly on Memorial Day, which came out of the Civil War. You know, the one where Lincoln, look up what Lincoln wrote about the Civil War before his assassination in a theater. He wrote that at the beginning of the war, he didn't know who the Jesuits were. And by the end of the war, he realized they'd instigated the whole thing. And again, you look into John Surratt, he's the part of the assassination of Lincoln, but escaped. He was a Jesuit, and they couldn't find him, so they executed his mother instead. But it's always been the Jesuits, and most people don't even know who they are. Like, literally, you had founders that were worried about the Jesuits coming out of suppression. And remember, the only 201 president to date is James Madison, and that's who was in office when the Jesuits came out of suppression. And they came out of suppression 144 days after his birthday. Jesuit orders 144, just like the United States of America. Again, the election today was 144 days after Trump's birthday, and today is the day in history, or November 5th, which is now past, the day of the election, is the day in history the Jesuits tried to blow up King James and British Parliament. Assassination, just like how assassin is 115, and the assassination hoax was 115 days before this election. Just like how Trump took office with 115 Congress way back in 2017. We've been pointing out these things all along. Here, just to remind you, the Iowa caucus this year was on January 15th, and Trump got 56% of the vote, like how November 5th leaves, or he got 56,000 plus votes. That's what he got. But November 5th, the other 115 date, leaves 56 days left in the year. Society of Jesus, 56, like Washington, D.C., yada, yada, yada. So, you see how they do it? This was a joke, and we were saying that day, it all foreshadowed what was to come on November 5th for the chump. All right, doesn't look like we had anybody else join. For the person saying you mega beat Kamala on 26-6, yeah, you're right. And that was right after Trump's 60th birthday. We've covered that a number of times in recent days as a reminder. Here, let's just do it one more time. Absolutely. Trump's up 266 on the brink of coming off the ropes with the elbow. Look at this, you guys. That's how sick it all is. This was days after Trump's 60th birthday. Days after Trump's 60th birthday. Monday Night Raw, June 26th. Omega defeats Kamala. And Kamala, the wrestler, died 2 days before Kamala was made the VP nominee. And again, just to remind you of all this, that fight was 116 days before Kamala's 42nd birthday. And you know what? They called the election for, I guess they haven't officially called the election for Trump, but they're going to do it today. You know it, on November 6th. And this fight was all these years ago, right after Trump's 60th birthday, and now wins the 60th election over Kamala as she turned 60 when she started sucking Willie Brown's Willie when he was 60 and she was in her 20s. That's how sick it all is. You know, again, the Cavs had to win with 116 the day before this election. Cleveland, about 116 days before her 42nd birthday, you know, Pope Francis, the 266th Pope, that fight on 26/6. This election, 42 days before his birthday. Kamala Harris, James Harris, both 49. She becomes the 49th VP 2 days. She became the 49th VP nominee 2 days after he died. When they took office, she became the 49th vice president. He died 73 days after his birthday on 8/9. Harris, 73 and 89. He died exactly 42 weeks after Kamala's birthday. All of you guys who cannot say her name, like Joey just came on here and said Kamala, her name is not hard to remember if you can just remember it's like comma, period, comma. That's how you remember how to say her name. The wrestler is Kamala. Kamala. She's Kamala. Not hard. Again, Omega, the wrestler, he ended up dying 45 days from Kamala's birthday, and now she loses the number 45. And his death was 173 days after Trump's birthday, the 40th prime, like how Trump has the parallels to number 40, Ronald Reagan, who ran on Mega. Edward Fatu was Omega's name, 40. The whole Butler thing on the 40th parallel. Trump, Mr. 248, Vince McMahon, born on 24/8, the day of the Trump mugshot, where he spent 15 minutes in the Atlanta jail when Atlanta's 15. But yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Sitting on 266 before he comes off the high ropes. What a joke. What a joke. And it's sad how many trolls and haters, I don't even know if they're real human beings or if they're just bots, just in here, just talking shit. It's like, you guys are losers. You guys represent what's wrong with the world. How are you trying to tear down the man who's been the best at exposing the federal government, unless you are little Fed pieces of shit? But easily. Again, you guys, I don't know if anybody ever is going to go down in history who did a better job of exposing what the federal government was than yours truly, because I've nailed it on the head, been over the target, dropping nothing but truth bombs. Like it was I'm the British military on the Dresden refugee camp. If you don't know what they did at the end of World War II, they tell you about how evil the Nazis were, but the U.S. was the first ever nation to use napalm, and they did it on refugees. Yeah, we burned a lot of people to death with napalm at the end of World War II, needlessly, people who didn't want anything to do with the war. But then we learned in his storybook that it was the small mustache guy who was so evil. I'm not convinced that more people weren't killed in Dresden than what the Nazis supposedly did in their camps. To drop napalm on people who didn't want anything to do with the war, that's not evil. That's the United States of America. That's our history. Shout out to my favorite author, Kurt Vonnegut, who wrote a book about it because he was there and saw it himself and talked about how evil this nation was for the rest of his life. He also said the only people who get to be presidents in this country are psychopaths, and he was right about that as well. So he's part of the reason, that's the thing about great people. Kurt Vonnegut, great human being, influential human being who led a lot of people in the right direction. Yours truly has done that as well. Haters can hate all they want, but that's the fact. And that's the problem with all the haters. You guys are the ones that I know are just so butthurt that I exposed all these things you love, but you loved all the wrong things. You loved your nation, which was a tyrannical empire. You loved your rigged sports games because you were too dumb to see through it. And now you hate me for it. That makes you a loser. Point blank, period. So. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. All right, doesn't look like we have anybody else hopping on, and that'd be something else if you woke up and all of a sudden you hadn't won. They'd really be trying to piss people off even more than they did in 2020. Don't forget, you guys, the Transition Integrity Project in 2020. You see how President Biden is 144, just like Jesuit Order is 144? He's also Jesuit educated like Trump. But again, it was June 12th, 2020, Jesuit Georgetown simulated the Transition Integrity Project where Biden narrowly beats Trump. Trump refuses to step down, and it leads to a deadly altercation between Americans. Georgetown was the first thing to board up before January 6th. Again, all of this shit's been planned by them. And it's federal money that's being used for this too, for all these psyops to dupe everybody. Here, DK wants to hop on real quick. DK, do better than last time. DK, you got to do better than last time. What's up, man? Don't piss everybody off and just say shit that doesn't need to be said. Well, what do you want to add to this conversation about the rig selection?
Yeah, I probably what's the better word? Incriminated some people that didn't feel like they could have been incriminated. So I apologize for that. I think last time your stream was actually a sports stream, but like how you always do, you do the sports stream, but then you also are mirroring it on your news channel. So I was kind of just talking about generic callers on the news channel, not on the sports side of it. So if anybody from that side got offended for, me saying that the whole community is garbage on that side, I don't even know what's going on that side. So if anybody got offended on that, sorry for that. But as far as this one's concerned, I sent you a couple of emails earlier. Can you just pull that up real quick while I talk?
Wait, which email did you send them to? GematriaEffectNews?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm pulling them up.
I know you, if it's loud because I'm still at work. I know you talked about Kamala's dad. I looked into her mom.
Yeah, who died on the Vatican's birthday on the 42nd day of the year right after Obama became president. Yeah.
Did you see what she's famous for?
What is she famous for?
She is like one of the top MK Ultra researchers.
Is that right?
So she took over for I guess the most famous guy or, close to the most famous guy who was working out at McGill University in Canada named Dr. Cameron. And then she took over for that dude. So they were that was like the top MK Ultra research when they moved it out of Germany.
Okay, I got to look that one up. That's news to me. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because that was a CIA program, and CIA established in 47, and they got her running to be number 47 against Mr. 47. And somebody called in earlier and pointed out that the Manchurian Candidate novel came out on the 4700th day of Trump's age. The novel about the Manchurian Candidate came out. Go figure.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that meme going around, talking about how the Christians have been told about the Antichrist for who knows how long, and then when he finally shows up, they buy a Bible from him.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you get those pictures up?
I got this one up of Lincoln.
Yeah, you see those two pictures? What ethnicity is Lincoln?
I mean, there's some guys that aren't in the club that have that big of schnauzes, but then anyway, I see what you're saying.
Because they always show us Lincoln with a beard, and he doesn't look like that. They show us his old ass pictures, but they don't show him when he was first, being ushered into office. So that's what he really looks like. And then they're like, hey, maybe you look a little too you-ish, so maybe we should grow out the beard a little bit. soften some of those features.
Yeah. I gotta admit, in that photo, man, I'd have to say he definitely looks pretty Ashkenazi. So
Pretty bad.
yeah.
You saw Trump had the hat, right, which said number 45 and 47 on it.
Oh, he's been wearing that thing, forever, right?
And that adds up to 9/11. 45 is 9 and 47.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to throw those two things in.
All right. Appreciate it, DK.
All right. Have a good night, Zach.
All right, later, man. All right. Truth does not exist. Has to hop back on. All right. What's up? What's up, Stoned Raider?
Hey, so the one thing I forgot to say was it was really funny what they did during the election today, where they had all the states like vote on weed, and they made it so that way you had to get 60%, and not a single state won. And it's like, I've never met anybody that's opposed to weed being legal. So it's like, it's just obviously fake. Like there's no, like, it's obviously totally rigged. I mean, there's no way that people oppose that. I mean, it's just such a joke. So yeah, it failed again in Florida. Well, too bad, bitch. Too bad, Ron DeSantis. Fuck you. We're still smoking over here anyway. So he can go to hell. So I don't care. So yeah. But yeah, what a fucking joke. It's so rigged. It is the elections are so rigged. And abortion failed too, which like everybody wanted abortion. I mean, really? What a joke. How does anybody believe that this shit's real?
Yeah, I hear you. So.
And then Kamala, I mean, I don't know anybody that likes Kamala. I drove from Dallas, Texas, all the way to Cedar Rapids, and I saw like maybe a handful of Harris Walls stick yard signs, but it was mostly just Trump. And they're saying that she got like all these millions of votes. I mean, what a joke! This stuff's so rigged. It's amazing that anybody could believe any of this.
Well, I'll tell you, out here on the liberal West Coast, a lot of these people are under the Kamala mind control. So
yeah, 2 Federal Reserve people. You know that 80% of currency in U.S. history was printed during the Obama and Biden administration.
Give me the stat one more time.
That 80% of the U.S. currency that's ever been printed was printed during the Biden administration and the Obama administration.
The record printing should have happened under Trump with his stimulus package.
Yeah, 6.2 trillion. Most of that went to big pharma.
Yeah, I'll have to look more into that stat. That's an interesting stat, but I'm not sure it's quite right, since there should have been more under Trump with his 6.2.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
There was
during
another
too.
4 trillion stimulus thing that he did too, so it was like over 10 trillion in stimulus. That's a lot of printing of money.
Yeah, it should definitely include him.
Okay.
All right, but yeah,
maybe it's for all those guys, for Obama, Trump, Biden. I could see that, the 3 of them combined, probably that would make sense.
But yeah, they're probably. I mean, next year. You know what's also happening next year? The World's Fair is also happening in Osaka, Japan, 2025. So the Catholic Church celebrating their thing. World's Fair is happening. Project 2025. Like everybody has everything lined up for next year. So we're gonna see what happens. What exactly goes on? Because we just got all this stuff pointing to that one year. And it's going to be a pretty big year.
Indeed.
All right. Well, yep. That's all I had.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Have a good night.
Good night.
All right. I in a way, I want to know exactly what minute they're officially going to call it at. All these rituals. Earlier, they were showing that Trump had pretty substantial leads with not that much of the votes to call in several of these swing states. He obviously only needs one more to win. Yeah, somebody else I think is going to have to document it for me. I need to crash and Again, sweet lady could be any minute. So get my my last day's of rest while I still can. All right, guys, we'll leave it there for now. And another long-term projection, dead on the money. Well, so it seems, unless they're gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, "What? What happened? This is like 2000." Yeah, 2000 was the year that they called it for the Democrats, and then said, "Well, wait a minute, hold on. Actually, in Florida, where Bush's brother's the governor, it looks like he's actually won." No, it's just, I mean, that's again, I was 17 then, and that's why I don't vote in rigged selections. I just said, man, this nation is like for dopes. You guys can't see the way we're getting played and laughed at. You can't see that we're ruled over by a ruling class. Again, I mean, you learn in slave school, pledging to 13 stripes for 13 years, that the only people who really had rights in the time of the founding were rich landowners. So you got all this nice rhetoric in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all this blah, 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 but it's all just been words. Hasn't really been realized by almost anybody except for the ruling class. So Thomas Jefferson, he was the best one. He gave us the biggest clue. He said, if you don't revolt every 19 years, you will continue to lose rights and liberties. And now we see it more clearly than ever after COVID-19, which came 19 years after 9/11 and the 19 hijackers, which came 19 years after the war on drugs in 82, which came 19 years after the war on JFK's head, which came 19 years after the year we deployed the most troops to World War II. Again, the moon's on a 19-year cycle, and the Illuminati works by that illuminated object in the sky. That's why they gave you the moon landing on the 201st day of the year, and Neil Alden Armstrong equals 201, like Order of Illuminati, like Inauguration Days on the 201st day of the nation's age, and this is the nation that was founded right after the Illuminati. So, yeah. All right. Thanks again, Truth Seekers. Thanks for hitting the like and the share. Hey, somebody keeps calling from 480. Hold on. Guy keeps calling from Arizona. I hope it's good. All right, make it good, 480.
Hello?
Make it good. What's up?
Oh, make it good. Oh, nothing. I was just calling in about, like, I know it's, I like calling about I'm not thinking about, like, about the bridge, but that bridge that caught on fire, they say that they don't have, like, no source of fire, like, they don't know. But if you look at it, like, watch the video of it, it like looks like thermite, dude, like what they like put on the bridge. Like the sparks are like flying off all crazy.
Well, yeah, okay, we're talking about the Big Mac Bridge catching on fire in Cincinnati. Again, right before the Bengals become 4-5 in tribute to Mr. McDonald's, Donald Trump.
Well, not only that, it's also like 1,000 Hands Children's. It's like the name of the bridge is also crazy, but the Eminem released the album with Juice WRLD, and like a single, and the album cover looked exactly like how that bridge fire is, like almost like the same exact picture, like the same, like, and he released that on like 12/16 of last year, and it's called Lace It. And if you look at it, Lace It, the it part looks like the pi signal. But it's just crazy because they're all like being released in, Fortnite together too. Like and then just dropping tomorrow, and then Taylor Swift came out with that Fortnite song too.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Well, he doesn't get to be the closer on the baseball team. All right, well, you want to come back on and say something too? Truth does not exist. What's up?
Yeah, look, I just looked on Twitter. Elon Musk just posted a couple hours ago, and he pinned it. He said, "America is a nation of builders. Soon you will be free to build."
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. Good night, Zach.
All right, smoke another one. Thanks, buddy. That was better. Yeah, it just annoys me how people fall for this turd Elon Musk. God, I mean, is he playing Diablo 4 right now? Yeah. There's his top post. Shout out to the builders, the Masons. God. Yeah. Again, I wish I really wish Ronald Reagan's quote about he wants to make government so small he can drown it in a bathtub, I wish that would happen. Of course, Ronald Reagan made the federal government double the size it was, and that's how it does with all these frauds. It'll be the same thing with the new mega in part two, Trump. They always come in and talk a good game and then do the opposite. And there's always some bullshit reason why, too, because the Illuminati puppets, they're just the little figureheads in the position. And then what happens with the world affairs is always messing up their plans. And then they're always making all the wrong moves and going along with the agendas. And then everyone has an excuse. But yeah, if I was president, I would be like, fuck it, man. We're getting rid of all the red tape. We're getting rid of all this bullshit. I'm sorry, poor people. It's time to find your bootstraps. I mean, you can't just do it cold turkey, but we do. We just need to create a nation where, like, the government's not paying anyone's bills. It's just like people need to be more self-sufficient. The government needs to stop subsidizing sugar and corn syrup and giving everybody disease and illness, which is creating all this glut with disease and medical bills. It's like there's just so much bullshit that needs to be done away with. Way too much red tape. It's like, I want to create my own school. I want to create a school. Do you know how hard it is to create a school? Do you know how much money it takes? How many licenses and inspections and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I should be able to create a school. I should be able to create a school. I should be able to go rent a building and say, this is a school. Here, you don't like the public school system? Come to my school. Come to my school and see if you like it. I'm going to make the tuition dirt cheap. As a school teacher, I made $40,000 a year. So here, I did the math. If I can get 40 students in here and all of the parents pay $1,000 a year tuition, I have the same salary I had in the public school, and I'm going to do a way better job for these students and not have to follow some bullshit curriculum. And you know what? If I can get them to pay $2,000 in tuition the next year, I can make my classroom even better and do a way better job than the public school. Why shouldn't it be that way? Why shouldn't it be that way? Why do you even have to go to slave school? Slave school. Like, I just had to pay my property taxes again, and it makes me want to cry every time how much it costs. I heard some guy complaining about that his property taxes were $2,000. Come move out to the liberal West Coast and see how much property taxes are. Your ass will be sore. And I'm tired of paying all this money to bullshit slave school so I can drive by the schoolyard and see all the little fat slobs that are retarded as shit and probably going to end up working at Walmart. Again, D26 is calling in from India, where the average cost per student a year is $50, where in the U.S. it's thousands. And, they're getting all the jobs at big tech, and then all the little retards that we spent thousands of dollars on per year, again, are working at McDonald's. It's bullshit. Again, let me set up my little warehouse school shop and see if I can fill up the classroom and do a better job, because I already know I can. I used to teach in public school, and I got in trouble for doing a better job than what the curriculum was. So, and I honestly would rather do that. If I could go back to teaching and actually just teach students what I wanted to teach them, which wouldn't be gematria. Well, actually, you know what? It might have to be gematria at this point a little bit. But yeah, I was a very good teacher, and I got in trouble for being a very good teacher. And that's because they want mediocre people in there helping raise up all the little retards. Yeah, literally, when I taught 5th grade in South Seattle, I got in trouble for coming in before school and staying way after school and helping tutor any student that wanted help in any grade, whether they were in my classroom or not. The other teachers started to get butthurt about it because I was making them look bad. Well, that's not what it was about to me. It was about actually helping out the students, because that's why I signed up to be a teacher. And that's why I know this world's bullshit. So anyway, now I teach people some of the dopest information there ever was on the web, and we would have woke up a lot more people and maybe changed the world if it wasn't for big tech censorship and deletions and all the other shit you got to deal with. Now these frauds on YouTube that clog up all the bandwidth. What's his name? Ben Patrick David, the probably CIA asset from Iran. Again, people don't know, Iran is the United States of America. I don't know how people don't know that. We overthrew it on the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th, back in the start of the 50s. Think we ever gave it back? I mean, please. The CIA and British Petroleum overthrew Iran in the 50s, and it's been used as a boogeyman puppet state ever since. So... But yeah, I mean, that's the way the country should be. If we were free, like, see me talking about this sounds like a pipe dream. It's like you can't do that. You can't set up your own school, and parents aren't allowed to enroll their students in your own school. It's because you're not free. You're enslaved. There's a federal system, a system that makes you go to their school and pay a whole shit ton of taxes to them so that they can indoctrinate you and turn you into a little retard, a little McDonald's consumer, and go participate in rigged selections that you should know better about and think Donald Trump. I mean, do you know how dumb you got to be to think Donald Trump's going to help us out? Do you forget how bad he fucked us in the last time he was in office? And then some idiots always go, so what? Should we vote for the Democrats? No, moron. No. We should revolt and overthrow the tyrannical system. That's what we should do. Point blank, period. You know? All right. I got to go to bed, but yeah, I'm so sick of this this nation and how dumb its people are, and watching this rigged bullshit go on and be right about it year after year. I'm also sick of being right about it year after year and not getting the respect or, the support that we should get. There should be enough because of what we just. I mean, look at how these politicians raise money, and then they just, it's gross. I mean, we should be raising the money so that we can change the world, because we would. If we could, if we had enough people behind us. All right. I'm out of here, Truth Seeker. Have a good night. And until next time.